Hey everyone, I got coached by pro player Fluffy HS recently. I wanted to share this as there is something to learn here for everyone. His Twitter and Twitch will be linked down in the description, so if you want to get better at TFT, his stream is great to watch for learning the game. This video is quite long, so everything is timestamped in the description, but we start off talking about my lol chest and some other general stuff, then we get into the first game, which was a bit unlucky and turned into a play what you hit kind of game. Then the second game was a bit more lucky, and it's all about how to turn an early game lead into a first place. Hope you enjoy.
Obviously, I just looked briefly over your wall chest, and we're gonna go over it together. But like the first thing I noticed, is your poor streak currently, which happens. But just a general question: are you prone to tilt at all? Like, do you get affected by tilt a lot? This looks like you got pretty tilted here.
Yeah,
so a lot
some of those are like tilt cues where I'm sitting in the loading screen and I'm like, fuck, I should not have played this game.
Sure. All right.
Yeah,
gotcha,
but but in game, I don't really get tilted. Like if I get bad RNG, I get more tilted at myself if I make like an obvious mistake. You know.
That's good.
Like I'm not one of those people that type like, oh my god, rolled 80G, no fucking kale, and then like.
Sure. I see. So you're not like City. To put it like that.
Yeah.
Just cues for no reason if he's tilted and just insta concedes when it doesn't work. No. Not to throw him out of the bus. He's a really nice guy and all that. Yeah. He's a good player, but he tilts way too hard. He would probably be probably top 20 easily, like every set if he didn't concede every like 3 games.
Okay.
Okay. Next. So just from looking at this, it looks like you're liking a little bit of cyber, a bunch of blaster brawler stuff, right? Kale comps, those kind of comps. The forecast.
Yeah, I basically mostly. You can see on the graph, like I basically just like speed ran through Grandmasters, and then right now I'm like dropping down again.
Yeah.
So like I played like only like cybers, brawler, blaster, and Kale to go from like.
Is this your all-time top? 693.
Yeah.
All right. Just put that down. It's kind of important, actually. Not that it's important in a sense where like this is your plateau, you're never gonna get better or anything. It's more of it gives me an idea of like how good you are, right?
Yeah, I mean this might sound like me might sound dumb, but like part of me climbing because I started like leveling really aggressively, and then Polt became like rank 1 and started streaming, and he also does the same thing, and then like the lobbies just get so much more aggressive and everybody's a lot stronger. I'm not really sure like how to adapt to that.
Okay, so you basically played really aggressively, like
like I was like level 5 on like 2-5 almost every single. Almost
do you pre-level like people do? Because I think that's a big mistake. Like if you pre-level before Carousel.
If I can't make econ, I do that.
Okay, that's fair. Because when people do it when they have econ or if they're losing or something, it makes sense. If you can't make econ, you're streaking, you're leveling anyways, then it makes sense, right?
Yeah, but if I can econ, I generally tend to econ.
Because in my opinion, getting I think it's 5%, might be 10%. I think it's 5% on the yeah. It's not worth it because the forecasts that you can hit, only half of them are playable, right? So let me open the builder.
Yeah, you'd only like realistically play like Kale, Irelia, and Jinx, and then like maybe a Cho or Wukong if he gives you like nice synergies.
So like the odds is 5%, right? You have all these fucking forecasts. And the reason Polt does this every game, because people mention this every session. I just want to go over it real quick. The reason why Polt does this, at least from what I've seen, and as far as I know, is because he uses most of these really well. Like he always uses Kale, Wukong, even Jin, Aurelia, Jinx, Shogat. He uses all these units like almost every game. I haven't seen him use these too much, but like he tries to use these every game. Maybe not Jin as much, but a little bit more than most people. Like he would play a combination of most of these if he can. And it's only pretty much him that does this and knows how to do this properly. Because if you don't know how to use these champions in combination and play really flexible, what's the point of leveling? If you're trying to hit high roll 1 Jinx or like 1 Kale or 1 Aurelia, those are like your options. Unless you're playing fucking mech, but if you're pre-leveling with a mech at 0 gold for a fist, for a random fist, that's just you're not going to hit the rest of your comp, right?
Yeah,
so that's the question. You're not going to find Soraka because that's just trolling. Shogath, I mean, sure, you can get 4 brawlers up early, but then you also need to hit Vi. You got to afford to buy all these units and actually have a backline carry as well. So I wouldn't say this is ideal. Getting early vel costs, it's very rare that you want it, especially now when Printer's a little bit worse, right?
Yeah.
Wukong's also really good currently, I think. Especially with the AI changes, he's actually pretty smart now, and he's a good frontline unit. Jin, better right now currently as well, so it makes a bit more sense. But unless you're super flexible with your items and how to play the mid game, rolling or hoping for one of these 3 units when pre-leveling is just wrong, I think. Unless you already level because you can make money and you're streaking anyways, then it's fair. Your 3 costs obviously go up as well, but I still don't think it's correct most of the time. It is in some cases, but
yeah. Like
making
I said,
the money,
I only do if I'm like streaking or if I.
Which is what you should do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Just want to cover that real quick. All right, let's get back to this. So your preferred comps look like Cyber Blaster Kale, right, or something along those lines.
I sometimes like play Rebels, but I heard that like you need to high roll if you're gonna play Rebels because you need to fast 8. So that
is not necessarily true, but it helps.
I mean, it's like the general advice I'd heard. But
Proceed.
If you disagree, like I would love to hear like why that is.
I'll cover it in a second. So it's basically the same reasoning that people used to have with Cybers, right? So you just want to play if you're streaking, if you're strong, you can easily go 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
That used to be the reason to play Cybers. Cybers is obviously a lot more difficult currently to play because they fall off a lot harder and they don't spike as hard. And I don't think 6 Cybers is ever the way to go either. I think it's 3 Cyber comps that are better right now.
Okay.
And like split up items on Aurelia, Kale, or like a Jinx or something. But those comps are a lot more difficult to pivot because you change up your board every round pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different of a playstyle than just trying to go 8 with like a strong illusion and then pivot into Aurelia with once you hit Echo, right, and all that. Just go 6 Cybers. I don't know where. That's a lot weaker currently. Yeah, unless you have perfect Aurelia and you hit this naturally with a lot of gold.
On that like 8th there, on that Galaxy, everybody got a Trap Claw, and I realized like halfway through the game, that was not the play to go Cybers because my Aurelia first thing she does fucking dashes into the Trap Claw, and I lose every fight because of it. Like I just got like I got so tilted, but at the same time I learned an important lesson. So yeah.
Good. I mean, Trap Claw is good against Aurelia, but if you have good enough items, it's gonna kill the unit anyway. So if you position it away from the Trap Claw, you can avoid it until like the last second. And just one shot it somewhere through halfway.
Because usually there's only like 1 or 2 people with a Trap Claw in the lobby.
But if everybody has it, it's gonna be a lot more hard.
I was trying to position fucking like Trap Claw on every single side, so you can't like.
Yeah,
it's almost unavoidable.
Makes it really difficult.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, so you like blasters more then? So that's like your go-to comp, blasters, I assume, or.
Yeah.
Well, what would you play every game if you could just have perfect items? What would you play every game?
Cybers.
All right, Cybers.
I feel like I know Cybers the best, at least.
And what's your second preferred?
I don't really have a second preferred, but it's probably Kale or Roller Blaster.
Okay. Then I have an idea of what you're playing.
I generally like try to look at my items to see like which one of those I will go.
That's smart. Like having 3 comps is usually like a really good amount if you want to climb consistently, because if you branch out to more than that, obviously you should play stuff like this if you high roll it, right? And even stuff like mech. I think mech is really good still. So
I play mech if I get Bramble start with QSS component, then I just always force mech. Then I play Space Jam if I get like 3 Rod start, but I haven't like had that in ages. So
okay, so that's good. Do you have a really good approach to what to play? It sounds like, at least. And it looks like you're decently flexible in terms of these comps. Even though you've had a rough streak, that doesn't really matter. That happens. All right, so on to the why I think Rebels are still good. But the thing is, like, even if you don't high roll and you're streaking all game, you can still play Rebels pretty easily. So essentially, why I still think Rebels are just better is just because they just beat out Brawler Blaster in every single way, pretty much. Like at the final comps, right? You don't obviously if you have all 1-star Rebels, they're not gonna do shit. You're just gonna die. If your Jinx is not optimal items, you have random 1-stars. You have a MF1 or something with no items and a GP with a GA, nothing else. That's gonna be pretty weak, right? So you want decent items at least. I think items are more important than a streak with the Rebels. Not saying that you should pivot into it if you're dying, because you're gonna hit a lot of things. So it's basically a coin flip if you have to roll an 8, because most of the time you're not gonna hit everything. Just imagine there are Rebels here. I don't. Too lazy to move them all. So what I tend to do is I just try to, like, if I'm trying to force rebels, I only try to go for it if I have either like 2 components for, say, red buff or Last Whisper or Giant Slayer or something that goes well on Jinx or Death Blades. I have a lot of swords. Say I have a GA component and a red buff start. Where's my red buff? Then I would probably look to play rebels if I have like a decent start for brawlers or like even a Sigs, Malphite stuff or start. It's a good indicator for me to when I can play it.
So you personally like never play Roller Blaster? You always go
No,
rebels
I
instead?
haven't played it a single time since. I think with this patch, it's 3 patches, or in the last 3 patches.
Okay.
I've always pivoted into rebels late game. I don't like play the rebels stage 4 almost at all. It's very rare that I do. The only times that I do is if I have Jinx 2.
Okay.
If I get like a free Jinx 2 and I don't have like something stronger to play, then I just put in the rebels.
Okay.
So that's gonna be most of the time stronger. And when it comes to items for Jinx, a lot of people just want to go for the damage that works best with the rebels, which would be the IE Last Whisper build. It's the most damage you can get. Maybe Deathblade is better than... I have tried a lot of Deathblade yesterday and the day before instead of Infinity Edge, but I feel like it's definitely good, and I think it's better than Infinity Edge, but the problem is that she doesn't proc if you don't have red buff.
Yeah,
like she does, but not consistently. I think this is still
procs,
probably
she
the best.
goes hard, but if she doesn't proc, you just...
Exactly, and the damage increase that you get once she actually ultis with like the IE and stuff, you don't need that extra damage because you already have enough. Once you have GP and GA, so that he actually goes off, all you need is for Jinx to go off. And then she just cleans up. It doesn't really matter what she has. If she has this and she manages to ulti, she's still going to be strong.
Okay.
You just need her to ulti. That's at least my opinion. Because like obviously this is, if you have Infinity Edge Last Whisper when you're playing this, obviously go for it. It's good. But I myself, I just prefer making red buff and then something like a Last Whisper, because that way you make sure she ultis a lot more consistently. Giant Slayer is also pretty good if you have Last Whisper already. It's a lot weaker without it right now, but this combo is pretty good.
Okay.
Defensive item is definitely good as well. I think Trap Claw or QSS are the best. Still like Trap Claw a little bit more, I think, but maybe QSS is better currently. I'm not sure because of all the GP players, right? Just keep her ulting is nice, but you don't block the damage if you don't have Trap Claw, so that's like lobby dependent.
Yeah.
But you don't always need red or a defensive item on this carry. But yeah, so basically I just try to like pivot into rebels with whatever I have. Sometimes it's Brawler Blaster, sometimes it's Cyburst, sometimes it's just random bullshit. It could be literally anything. I've played fucking Kale with Jinx items, like a Kale 1. I've played random snipers, chrono bullshit. I've had like even had AP items on stuff like a Jace with a random red buff Lucian or something in the backline, playing pirates throughout the early mid game. Like there are a lot of ways you can play around the early game to get into rebels, but then you got to be really quick at pivoting and knowing when to do it, because you got to know when you're falling off and when to roll for Jinx and stuff like that. And if you don't natural Jinx, it's going to be a lot harder to try to play rebels consistently.
Okay.
And like if you're trying to force it too much, you're going to end up with a lot of 5th, 6th, and 7th. Getting 8th is pretty hard because you're going to hit something if you roll down properly, like when you're supposed to. And if you hit something, you're usually fine to avoid 8th. But yeah, getting 2-star Jinx is pretty important than GP1. Those are like hitting these, pretty important. But yeah, essentially just knowing how to pivot into it is really big for this comp. Because a lot of people make the mistake of just playing rebels throughout the entire game, and then you really got a high roll if you
yeah, I know that
you want to keep streaking.
If you're
and be
playing
strong.
rebels, you don't need to play like 4 or 5 rebels, like
yeah. So like
game.
Exactly, just picking up Yasuo and Yi early just to like upgrade them, that's just a waste of money. I don't upgrade them ever.
Yeah, really. I usually only hold when I'm like 50 gold, and and I don't lose econ by holding them.
I'm holding Sigs every time currently, if I'm trying to play rebels at all, because he's so hard to hit with the rerollers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just keep Sigs, but the others I just sell if I have to. Malphite is fine to keep if you want, but you don't really need him late game. You prefer Acel 1 over Malphite 2. Sona's pretty good to upgrade because her ulti actually has value. Keeps Jinx from getting CC'd a little bit. Sona's fine to upgrade, I think. She's also a decent unit if you're playing Brawler Blaster. Or, yeah, exactly. Like you just play Sona, Malphite, and
Jinx.
Yeah, where's the Malphite? There you go. Yeah, you know the deal, how to play this. You just do this, or like this. Instead of 4 Blaster, which is fine on 7, right? Decent pivot. So basically that's just what I do, and I just hold these, and I try to pivot into it on either 4-3 if I'm high rolling it like a Gangplank. The second I hit Gangplank and Jinx 2, I'm always all in on these guys, right? But if I don't have GP, don't have Jinx 2, you just play the strongest board every time, and I try to pivot after Raptors in that case, and reassess if I have to go 9 or not. I don't like rolling down on 4-3. I go to like 20 or 30 gold and then just save up again, unless I'm dying, obviously. But I try to avoid playing if I'm not gonna have good items, because then streaking gets a lot more difficult. I feel like it's a stronger late game than Brawler Blaster. You cap a lot harder. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult to pivot into and get to that point, but it's a lot more easy to stabilize with Brawler Blaster if you just have a Jinx and 4 Brawlers, right? And like the normal circle with Rebels right here, and like GPMF, the positioning is super linear, but there's stuff you can do. Like you can put stuff here, you can put the Rebel bunch here, you can put them here, you can spread them out a little bit, you can like put them 3x3 or 3 like in a cone. And like,
I played a lot of Rebels on like the first patch, like everyone else did, but
it's a little bit different because they could just run ASOL 1, GP 1, and you would just it was just good enough to carry. Yeah, you just needed 1-star everything, and it was good enough. Now it's not really the same case. You at least need 2-star Jinx as your carry, right? ASOL doesn't do anything. I actually think tank ASOL is better than APL ASOL. If you happen to stumble upon a bunch of tank items from like a triple item cane or something, and they're all defensive, I actually think it's pretty good on ASOL if you have ASOL 2. Like stuff like Warmogs, that you randomly get like a Bramble or Titan, stuff like this. Then he actually gets to live enough or long enough to actually do damage, and he can clean up fights pretty easily.
Yeah, I like putting like Morello on him if I can.
Morello's fine, yeah. If you don't have red buff or something, Morello's pretty good on this guy. Or Demospat's pretty good. I think Demospat is better on Kale or Misfortune, but you don't really want to put it on Kale unless he's 2-star with like a Rebel Spat already or something. And Misfortune, unless he's 2-star, she's not going to ulti fast enough most of the time or at all. So it loses value, and it's going to be better here because he ultis quicker and gets the stun off when you need it to happen. All right, let's go back to what we were doing. All right. But like other than your bad lose streak, you can have a decent approach to what to play, when to play it, and a good variety of comps, not too many. And on that front, you're looking pretty good. Let's look at your Smurf real quick. Like I'm just gonna ignore like the win rate and stuff.
Like really sometimes I like literally just FF with this if I like my friends ask me to play something, because I don't really care about the rank. I'm like
that's fair. Yeah, you don't need to like worry about that too much.
Yeah, and sometimes like I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna force this comp this game. I don't really care. I just want to like chill and press the reroll button.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Like everybody has a different approach to why they play the game and how they want to play it, right?
Yeah.
And doing that every now and then is fine. Like if you're really try hard and just don't ever want to like lose LP on a game, you're obviously not going to do that on your main. But
yeah,
if you just play to have fun but you still want to improve and get better, that's completely good or fine. All right, so you have a little bit more variety in your comps on this account. A lot more Saya, but it was like a week ago.
Because I was testing out the Saya comp. Like I usually like if there's a new build, I like always try to play it on Smurf first. Yeah.
Yep, I usually do the same thing. It's a good approach, and that's what I expect them, honestly, from most people. They have a Smurf, they play most of the comps that they're not comfortable with on that account. But yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Your items look fine across both accounts. What is your carousel priority in terms of items? Because you're going Cyber most of the time.
I always try to go for belt. No, not
so
the belt.
What's your reason?
The chain list, sorry.
Okay, chain list.
Just mostly because of red buff.
Sure.
If I get red buff, I can usually like streak throughout the whole stage too.
Good. That's what I do as well. I think it's correct if you're playing those types of comps, because red buff is super important. And if you happen to get double vest, you can either make that into red buff GA if you want to go into rebels. You could make it into like a bramble vest if you want to go into mech or something. If it's uncontested, you could use it for Poppy. You could use it for a lot of things. I think vest is just the best starting item in general. It's never bad in like any comp. It's always going to be useful in some regard, which is not the case for a lot of items. Stuff like tier, you're kind of limited in what you have to play if you start tier. Same with Rod to an extent. Not really. Rod's really good right now, but like last patch, definitely Rod was a lot worse. Stuff like belt, I think, is also pretty versatile, but less good because if you get more than 2 of them, you're really hard to use. Like the second one, you can make redemption, you can make trap claw, so the belt's pretty good in that way, but you don't really want to prioritize it. What do you go for second if you don't get vest?
Well, I always try to go for like either sword, glove, or bow, but like usually those are taken.
Sure.
Or I just go for like a belt. So if there's like rod tier belt left, then I'll usually go to like belt, or just try to save like the better one out of the 3 left. Like usually there's like another guy running around as well. So
sure, that makes sense. I like your priority list. It's really good. I think maybe you should prioritize bow a little bit less, even if you're going Kale. I feel like if you're starting bow, you're just gonna have a worse time early game unless you like playing Lilac with Kale bow, obviously, or if you have like a really strong Saya as a placeholder for your Kale items. The bows are not gonna be good at all early game. And even if you're playing Kale, making stuff like red buff is still really good, I think. And you basically just need 1, maybe 2 bows for Kale. Like if you have a Ginsu's or an RFC, and then you can just make a defensive item and like Hand of Justice or like a whatever the fuck you get as your last item, and getting more than a few or a couple bows feels really bad. Obviously, getting 3 bows is fine, but if you happen to get 4 bows, you're kind of fucked. And you're not going to have enough defensive items. You're not going to have like enough versatility and like utility items, stuff like Zephyr or Redemption or Spark and stuff like that, right? So I feel like getting bow feels pretty bad. It's fine to get as like a third option. So like say you prioritize vest and then maybe BF or glove and then bow. Perhaps I think that's completely reasonable and fine.
Okay.
But I would probably even pick belt over bow most of the time, just because it makes red buff, right? But it depends on your playstyle. I don't like offensive items too much. I think it's fine to go for them. I myself start vest and BF currently, and then glove as well.
Yeah, all the Saya players like start gloves. There's usually like 2 to 3 people trying to go for it. So
yeah, a lot of people keep Saya open every game. Glove is just very versatile as well. Like it makes like obviously the Saya items. It makes QSS trap claw. You have Hand of Justice. You have a lot of good things, right? Shroud's even pretty good.
Yeah, there's like almost no bad items you can make.
Yeah,
gloves, so.
It's a super good item currently. So I think it should be up on your priority list. And also Deathblade is incredibly strong currently. So sword has a lot more value. Getting more than 2 swords in a game is actually fine now because Deathblade is good.
Okay.
Last patch, that was not the case. If you ever had more than 2 swords, you were kind of fucked.
Yeah.
But currently, sword is really good, I think. And I think it's best in slot on Saya over Infinity Edge, but you still want Last Whisper. And I think it's also a really good item on Jinx, but you need at least another really strong offensive item if you go Deathblade. If you go Deathblade red buff or something, it's not going to be good enough, I don't think. It is really strong, obviously, but her going off is going to be harder. If you have Deathblade Last Whisper, on the other hand, that's going to be a lot stronger. It's also pretty good on Aurelia. Not great, obviously. Infinity Edge and Death Cap, I think, is still better. I'm not sure if it's better than Death Cap. It might be better than Death Cap.
Yeah, I know that. Like, apparently, the math says that if you have like Last Whisper on Aurelia, like that's better than Deathblade until Deathblade has 2 stacks. Apparently.
Yes, something like that.
But like now, it already starts with 1 stack. So like after she gets 1 kill, it's already better. But
exactly. You just gotta make sure you get the first reset though, which is like the big part of Aurelia, because it's usually on a tank, and everything else just dies anyways. So you don't really. I think it's most of the time overkill, but it's also gonna be better into stuff like Bramble Vest, obviously. So you don't have to worry too much about Last Whisper in that case. But is making early Deathblade is actually not terrible now, because it's a really strong item on Lucian or Saya as a placeholder. Even like a random Shaco or Kha'Zix, it's gonna destroy with that item. So Deathblade has a lot more value. All right, do you have any other like general questions before we get into game?
No, I'm like more curious because I probably like there are some mistakes I have to be making in my games, and I just can't figure out what they are because I like.
Okay.
I haven't.
Do you have like any idea of like what mistakes you make like every game?
There's probably something with like I'm being either too greedy with econ to like lose with econ, or like I try to econ too much. There's probably like I don't like know how to.
Right. So
I'm not good enough at like evaluating the strength of my board compared to others.
Okay.
Like maybe leveling at bad times, maybe leveling when I'm not when I shouldn't level, like something like that.
All right. I got an idea then of what to keep an eye out for. What the hell is this? All right, you can screen share and we can get in the game.
And yeah, so I watched like Nature's BF coach Skara, and he
Okay.
was talking about like how people have started like rolling a bit on 6 and rolling on 7 and stuff. Like, I don't. What's your opinion on that kind of stuff?
I heavily disagree with rolling on 6 or 7. I think rolling on 6 is fine. There are scenarios when I think rolling on 7 is okay, and one of those is when you're decently high economy, but you're low in HP, stage 3, and you're going into level on 3-5. Then I think it's okay to roll a little bit, but you never want to roll to like 0.
Yeah, I usually like sometimes I will roll to like 30 on like
Mhm.
4-1 if I'm like weak. Generally around like 50 HP or lower. Or if I've
so-
like been loose streaking through the mid game.
Okay. So when it comes to stage 4, I never roll on 7 anymore. I have obviously done it to see how it works, but even when it works and I hit on 7, stage 4, I'm still going to start losing 4-3 almost every time. And it's not going to pay off because you're going to level 8 way slower and people are going to spike a lot harder. Because the reroll comps are going to spike hard stage 3. If they haven't hit already, they're hitting early stage 4.
Mm-hmm.
The comps that go fast 8, they're going to spike on 4-3, or they're going to spike on 4-5, 4-6, or 5-1. And if you roll on 7, you're going to fall behind heavily on econ. You're not going to be able to roll on 8. You're probably not going to be able to level 8 on 4-3 to keep up with the lobby unless you really like find everything instantly, which is super unlikely, by the way. Your odds of finding stuff on 7 is really low unless you're playing a strat like Poultice, where he uses almost every forecast in the game. He puts them to good use and knows when to use what. It's like, if you're really good at that, it makes sense. But if you're not, I would avoid it.
Yeah, like
I
usually,
just stop
like
completely rolling on 7 unless I'm actually just dying in 2 turns and I can never go 8 because I'll be dead before then. Then maybe roll a little bit on 7. But whenever you do, you're just playing for 7th, 6th place. I feel like.
okay.
At least that's my opinion. I don't think rolling on 7 is okay stage 4. I think it's fine if you do it stage 3, if you're like leveling to 7 on 3-5 or something.
Okay.
Maybe rolling a little bit, but rolling above 50 gold I think is okay.
What about rolling on 6? Like
I think rolling on 6 on 3-4 or 3-2 or something is fine, and it's also fine like late stage 3 if you want to keep a streak, or if you are looking to stabilize a little bit of health, or just stop a bleeding or something. I think that's fine.
Okay.
Rolling on 5, I don't think it's correct unless you're playing a reroll comp. Obviously, I don't think that's right ever. Rather tank HP and level up. But I think rolling on 6 is fine, but only like stage 3.
But how
if you have
low,
reason
like,
to.
would like generally on if you roll on 6, like how low would you go? Like
If you're leveling on 3-2,
yeah.
let's say you have 30 or 40 gold left over, I think it's okay. If you have 40, maybe go down to 30. Maybe sometimes 20. If you're sitting on like 5 pairs, you have to hit something because you're dying. I think it's fine going down to 20 gold, but I would never go below 20 gold unless you're actually just straight up dying. You're like 40 HP, you're already dead, you need to stabilize now. Then obviously do whatever you have to, right? But in most games, I would never go below 20 gold when rolling stage 3-2. Later than that, I would probably not go below 40. I'll try to stay above 50 though, because I heavily believe that going 8 and rolling an 8 is the best way to play currently, or at least the most consistent way to play, especially if you're playing 4-cost carry comps, or you're trying to hit legendaries like Gangplank or Misfortune or whatever.
Yeah, because like almost every single comp needs a legendary unit to like hit their big power spikes. So
for sure. So I think it's just better to play for that out, because if you stabilize on 6 or 7, but you're low on econ, you're not going to catch up and you're going to fall behind. The second people go 8, you're going to be in the same spot again, and it's going to be a lot harder to catch up because you're so far behind on econ if you roll.
I personally have never like rolled on 6 since like set 2, and I sometimes roll a little bit on 7 if I need to hit like pairs, but I usually don't go lower like than 30. Like I said, but
yeah, that's fine. I myself prefer to roll on 6 rather than 7. Not much though. I still don't roll too much. There are obviously exceptions, but I think 6 is better because you're most of the time looking for a 3-cost upgrade or like a 2-cost upgrade or something to stabilize. instead of hoping for that one 4-cost 1-star.
Okay.
At least during stage 3, because you're gonna be fine with Illusion 2 over Aurelia 1. I think that's even stronger most of the time, even with like perfect items. Like perfect item Aurelia, those items go really well in Illusion 2, and he's gonna destroy everything stage 3 with like really good items, for example. Plus Aurelia 1 still might die to everything. All right, we got a 4-fun carousel.
Yeah. Probably. I'm gonna take this Frozen Heart, I think.
Sure, that's fine. There aren't too many great options here. I think some of the better ones are
like
ZZ Rod.
ZZ Rod, I would probably go for
Redemption's
as well, Redemption,
fine.
But like
yeah.
a lot of those people were on that side.
Yeah, it's on the other side, and this is fine. Frozen Hearts is definitely a good item. And it's also on a Cyber, which is okay if you like to play Cybers, right?
Yeah.
It's not the best on Leona, but you can swap it to like a Vi or something. What else can you play with Frozen Heart? It's okay on Infiltrator, so mech is a possibility, but you still need double vest, or at least close to it, like half a Bramble or like a glove, cloak.
So I'd buy like Graves Pair and just play that here, and then.
Yep.
I'm tempted to. I think if I don't get gold. No, actually, I don't think I like want this side necessarily. I need to see what items I get.
I think it's completely fine to like buy the Saya, but I don't think it's gonna be better than Leona. I think if you're buying units here and you don't get gold, I think you're selling Blitzcrank.
Yeah.
But Blitz is pretty good if you happen to get a Malphite or something. Oh, yeah, I would have kept that Estriel over.
Really?
Buying these, yeah, because you have the Blitzcrank and you have Graves. Chrono Blaster. But I'd probably sell him here anyways. But
yeah, okay.
I think it's better than a random 1 cost.
Probably.
Because you don't have items for Saya anyway, so you have Belt, Frozen Heart, so you're not gonna play Saya this game. Like 90% of the time, unless you hit triple Saya next roll and you get up an item.
I'll probably sell these. I want I want all these 3.
Yeah.
So if I don't get gold, I think I'm just gonna take these 2 and avoid the Blitz.
Yeah, you leave the Blitzcrank. Yeah. 2-star Blitz is not as valuable as the random Vanguard and Cybernetic here, and like Blitz pair is usually a bait in terms of gold.
Yeah.
Graves. You probably want this Frozen Heart in play, right?
Yeah, I know. So I would probably put it on Darius, I think.
Yep, I agree with that. I think keeping it is too greedy.
And then I don't really want to make Trap Claw.
No, I don't think so either. Because then you're stuck with double defensive item, and if it's a bad carousel, you're fucked.
Yeah.
A good thing you didn't get the reset here. I think you should be able to win this. Maybe Redemption cucks you a little bit.
Yeah.
It does. It does cuck you a little bit too much here. But for Redemption, you probably win that. Unlucky. You should have been scouting a little bit more before the round started to see where you want to put your units, right? Depending on how people play. Scouting stage 2 is really important.
Okay, so Graves.
Great shot. You always play the Secondarius, and I think you just played that as well.
By this, I think. Then Malphite, and then...
I think you always sell the Xin here. You're never going to play that unit ever. So.
Okay.
And then now scout around Steve. You can change your positioning a little bit.
Bunch of people are level 4.
Yeah, so you're gonna beat 3 people here, or 2. So I think you should prioritize those, and those are level 3 people with weaker boards, and you should position for those people only, because you're 90% of the time not gonna beat the others unless you have perfect Darius resets or something.
Okay.
And you probably want the Darius without the item to enter a little bit later. Otherwise, he's gonna die before your ultis a lot of the time.
Yeah, like here. Okay.
Yep. Like if you got one more auto off, you would have reset probably.
Like here, are we ever like here? I would probably not make econ as I don't know like what I'm playing.
Yep.
So
that's fine. If you had more direction here, I think go and make an econ here is fine.
Yeah.
But since you don't really have direction in terms of items, you have a little bit in terms of units, but not really in items. I think just keeping this is fine. Hoping to hit like the Poppy or Leona or something.
Kind of with the Leona pair and this, so I think, and then not too sure what to play.
Probably want Blaster or Brawlers in instead of one of the Darius and just add Brawlers.
I think he's just better.
I would play Malphite as well over second Darius here if I were you, because you're really squishy. And I would also backline the Darius one row and probably put Blitz next to him as fodder if there are Blitzcranks. This way you get a lot tankier. You don't want Darius to take immediate damage here because he is not tanky at 2-star.
Okay.
At all. Alright, you're gonna win this one though, it looks like. Maybe not actually. He doesn't reset. That's close. Alright. Good thing you got gold though. You're really close to spiking though. If you hit these pairs on like illusion here, you're showing.
Okay, so here I'm like not too sure which item to go for. I'm tempted to just go for like the vest because
I think it's always vest here if you can. If it's a 1-cost vest, consider something else. But I would take Darius vest every time.
Okay, yeah, because he
Darius
gets 2-star.
Yeah, you don't have a Blaster to currently put red buff on, so you might as well just make a 2-star here.
Okay.
Otherwise, like if you had a Lucian or something that you could play, I would probably take a 3-cost vest instead.
Yeah, because then
Just
you
for
can
the red
actually like still play Darius if you want.
Yep. But in this case, you get 2-star Darius and you get another vest on him. You're not too sure what you're playing yet, so it's fine just waiting. But yeah, if you had that Blaster, obviously going for red buff on one of those Blasters would be a lot better, but you don't. So you're basically gambling on just high rolling one this turn.
Okay, so I want these for sure. And then I am tempted to just play these.
Yeah, like I think you level as well and play Leona here. You can sell Blitz Malphite for money if you have to.
Okay.
But the reason for that is basically you get a lot stronger because you get Vanguard on Poppy too, which is actually a massive spike. But you should consider not front rowing your Darius and everything. Maybe put stuff on second row a little bit more.
Like
currently he's getting hooked.
Like
you definitely want Poppy to get all the aggro though, because it's a 2-star Vanguard, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But this is fine. Like having Darius get aggro is completely fine because of the items, but he's still squishier than Poppy, especially because of her ulti and stuff. And you don't want him to die before he can clean up, because that's how you win fights. I think even when loose streaking here, I think it's fine to level just because you have such a strong board, and the streaks are not as big anymore. Normally, I would avoid it and just try to keep a loose streak, but here it makes sense because you get stronger and you can stop taking damage because you took a lot the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
That's a Shaco too. What the hell? Alright, make sure this Poppy takes all the aggro though, so she wants to be centered.
Okay, like, I would do something like this because of the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, sure. I think you should frontline the Graves as well though, because you want his ulti to proc quick.
Okay.
I should win this matchup, I think. Depends on Caitlyn if she smurfs or not.
Yeah.
Like. Also, that Bramble is pretty big. You might actually lose this. Hopefully you don't though. Oh. That sucks. At least it's Kate 1, so it doesn't kill you, but...
Yeah, I would
you win these. You win these. It's fine. Yeah, you make 20 here every time.
See if I
see if you go gold for. Alright. Good.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what you do. You don't lose here.
Probably don't really want anything.
I think making 30 is... I don't think you need anything in shop at all. But I think you should consider making 30 gold and just selling the Leona pair if you have to.
Yeah.
I think that's correct. Leona doesn't really do much because you already have frontline. It's basically a Vanguard bot. Yeah, good. Hopefully you get some items though.
Potential Last Whisper, probably.
Yep.
Okay.
Lucian. It's nice. I would probably sell the Mordekaiser and Kaiser here and pick up the Sona. I think there was something else in the shop. I forgot what it was.
There was like a Yi. And...
Oh, yeah, then maybe we could keep Mordekaiser, but... Yeah.
Okay, so I have to... Like here I want to play Cybers. Like
I think it's fine to level here.
Level here? Okay, I would just sit and level next turn.
Because you have a 2-streak already, if you get Lucian in play, you can actually keep a streak potentially. So I think you would level here. I would at least level here. So it makes sense. But you want some fodder for Lucian, so I would put Leona as fodder for Blitzcrank. And I would also make Last Whisper every time on Lucian.
Really? Okay.
So, yep. 100% of the time here, I would make Last Whisper.
Like even now with the item on?
Yep. I would just jam it.
Okay.
When you level here, you have to keep a streak, and you might lose this if you don't make it, because he's got a Shaco too. You might still lose. I think you have to make it a little bit quicker.
Okay.
But
yeah, because like if we
fine here if you get a reset. Nice.
Oh no! Oh fuck! I didn't see that gold.
That's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, because usually what I would do, I would just level here and then put the belt here, and then
spread the items.
Probably put the bow here, and then avoid the glove there.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think putting anything on Leona is ever worth it. You should use her as fodder, by the way, for Lucian. You haven't scouted for Blitzcranks at all.
Yeah, I know I haven't played this guy yet, so I should.
I would put him second row, not third row. Then if he's third row, he's gonna dash up a lot more than dash to the side or backwards. Okay. You don't want to dash into stuff. You also want Poppy to tank instead of Fiora.
Yeah, like my positioning is like a bit like
so it's
off, I'm like a bit like it's like I'm trying to talk to you as well, like at the same time. So
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
This matchup's gonna be rough. You hit the Saya 3, but you have Graves, so hopefully he did not shroud the Saya again. All right, that's unlucky. Not much you can do. He hit on 3-1. That sucks for you.
Yeah.
You're in a good spot still, though.
Yeah, because usually I would position probably something like this.
Yeah, this is fine. But I think the Lucian should definitely not be in that corner because he dashes upwards way too often, and then he gets into danger.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that's a little bit better. If you still played against a Shaco guy, probably putting him up in that corner is fine. But you already played him, so
yeah. Like here's probably like one of those things I'm not sure about if it's worth like keeping these.
I would buy these.
Yeah.
Because your level 7 is probably gonna be casted in.
Yeah.
If you would have won this last round and this one, you probably always go to 7 next turn.
Yeah, because I'd be on like a 3, 4, 5 win streak. Yeah, and I would pretty much always level if I'm like 5+.
Yep. Let's see. I think it's worth selling the Shun if you can make Econ with them, but I don't think you can here. No, you can't.
Okay.
I wouldn't sell Leona or Cassid. It costs you 1 gold to keep Shen pair and Cassid. I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
If it's only one of the units, like say it was like Cassid alone, I probably would not have picked it up in the first place, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough decision. Yeah, you'd probably want that.
The Jinx. I have a belt. Yeah, we can see items.
Another vest is also fine. If there's one, there's not. That's probably sword.
I'll probably take sword here.
Yeah. That's fine.
Because from here, I would probably go Cybers, considering I like have red buff and Last Whisper. So
yep.
That's what I would probably like do that 99% of the time, unless I get like some crazy other items.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, I think that's completely fine. You have good items for it. Another Lucian, that's good. So leveling is how much gold? 24. You can go back up to 30 if you level.
Something. Wait.
Yeah,
yeah
I think you level and play Cassidans here.
Yeah, I think if I can like level and stay above 30, that's what I used to do like when I was climbing. But I think I like.
You should move the Poppy. I don't think Cassidans should take instant aggro. I think this is better. Yep. That's nice. If you still had the Saya player to play against, oh, there's another one with Saya 3. Okay.
Yeah.
If the other Saya player with no QSS was still there, obviously want to put Cassidy all the way to the left, but
do you like? Would you put the sword on the Fiora? I think
probably
it's
not.
Yeah, because it's a bit
I
awkward
think it's too
to get
late.
it off.
Yeah, if you had a backup Fiora, I would probably do it, but
Yeah.
only having one Fiora here, probably not. This is a really good loss, though.
Yeah.
I still think leveling is finer because you go about 50 anyways. By the camp. Ooh. All right, so Rebels is an option here as well, or Brawler Blaster. I think you always pick up the Jinx though because you have really good items for Jinx.
And then I also kind of want. Okay, I can do this.
You could buy Cassidy, yeah. Something like this is fine.
I think he's probably trying to go Kale, I think, with these items.
Yes.
There's like one guy that's.
Well, that guy has a lot of tiers.
Yeah. I'll sell Graves here if I lose, I guess.
Yep.
We probably are gonna lose this, yeah.
Mm-hmm. This guy's very strong. Aurelia?
And Cho'Gath. Okay, so here I basically like.
I think you wait and see what items you get. I would probably go ahead and sell the Shen here, just to make it easier for yourself to pick up units. And you're probably not going to play him for a long time, even if you are. And if
I
you're
would
playing Blaster,
probably play him if I get like if I pick up the early, I would play Shen next.
Yeah,
time,
okay,
probably.
that's fair. Yeah, good call. Gotta make sure to make money here, though. I think, if you can, so like you would pick up the Aurelia or keep the Jinx and make money depending on what items you get.
Okay.
I think Aurelia's better, so I would sell Jinx here probably.
Okay. I think this is worth to make. We can also.
Yep.
Um.
I think you're supposed to sell the Darius here probably, and play Aurelia over it. That way you can make red buff.
And you can sell these or like remake Lucian. I think
Yeah, remake Lucian.
And then sell him player.
Sell that. Yep. Probably don't frontline her.
Okay, yeah. When she's one starts a bit. Then make red buff every time.
Yeah.
And
Frozen Heart probably wants to go on Vice or something that's not a cyber currently. So
put
maybe
Graves
Poppy or Graves. Yep, both are fine. And you probably want to death cap Aurelia as well here. Okay. That's what I would do. You can keep it obviously if you want to greed it for like a better third item. And I think
just wait after
Infinity Edge or Death Cap is a good third item, especially if you're going for IE or Deathblade as your last defensive or offensive item.
Yeah, I just wanted to wait. I don't like putting items on like mid.
Oh damn! Wait, okay. You probably picked this up here. Honestly, I would not let 2 Jinx go.
Yeah. Especially when I don't lose eco.
But yeah, I think you always make Death Cap in this case. Because even if you're going into like you're pivoting to GP Rebels here, because you have potential IE, you have Jinx items already
here as well.
Yep, that's fine. I would do it too. Good.
And then
you could do like the 3 cyber variant, or you could even go into Rebels here because you have insane items if you get a vest. Like you have perfect Jinx, and you're gonna have perfect GP, potentially.
Yeah, I would.
And wait, is that a third? No, it's the same Saya guys before.
Yeah, there's 2 side players.
Yeah, that's where there was 3 for a second.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know how Cybers does against Saya, but
it does. If you play Shen, like I usually don't have too much of a problem with him because you can play Shen and then Saya like keeps shooting at this Shen and then usually that's like enough for a relative kid like half his team. So I don't really have too much problem with like Cybers into Saya. But...
All right, definitely level and play Shen here.
Yeah.
I should look and see if Aurelia is like completely open or something.
Yeah, I think there was something like
he might go into Cybers. He's going Cybers. All right, you might. Jinx is completely open here, so
as well.
Yeah. Except for the Sigs player. But you have good items for her still, so I think it's not worth selling for money here. Like even if it's Brawler Blaster, I think it might be a better option because of the triple.
Yeah, like if
Aurelia
I was
players.
playing like by myself, I'd probably always go Cybers here. Just stick with it.
That's fair. I think if you hit Jinx too, though, I think you either play 3 Cybers or you play Rebels from here.
Yeah.
If you get the GP or the Jinx, you're playing.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't want the Jinx. You don't want the
Yeah,
Jinx.
because it'll be combined.
Yeah, you want the vest. But you don't really want to take Jinx with that vest.
I'll probably take the glove, even though it's 1-star, because it's
Yep, you take glove here. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, look and see what that improved guy is playing. The guy who got GP. Oh, he's actually playing some GP mech.
I think he's playing like some
weird ass GP comp.
Yeah.
Probably. He's already got a demo spat, so.
This guy's playing Cybers, I think.
Yep.
I would just.
I think it's fine to make it. Yep, I think it's fine.
And at this point, I would probably sell Malphite if I win.
Yep.
Or I would just sell the Jinxes probably, or like one of the Jinxes at least.
It's also fine. I would probably myself like to keep Jinx open because of the amount of Aurelia players, and like there are a few Sayas as well, and they're probably gonna pick up Aurelia if they don't have Fiora 2 or Fiora 3.
Yeah.
So I don't think you want to sell Jinx in case you don't hit Aurelia 2. Infinity Edge losses per still not bad. Sell Malphite though.
Okay, I make that always. Yep. And
always make that. I think at this point you should probably be playing Wukong instead of Poppy. I just realized. You get Chrono.
Yeah.
And the ulti is good enough. You lose, I think, 250 HP on the swap, but you get a pretty good ulti.
The Chrono is worth it, basically.
Alright, so that's how many Aurelius at the pool?
It's like
there's 1 2-star. This guy's 2 on the bench. You might not be able to hit Aurelia this game.
Yeah. Okay. I would just sell the Poppy here.
Yeah, you sell Poppy, but I don't think you ever sell this Jinx because of that fact that almost every Aurelia is taken. And if you're stuck with Aurelia 1, you're not gonna get more than like a 7th.
Yeah, I know.
Probably.
Okay, I'll do the count now.
Oh, Wukong Thrush.
2, 5, 6,
6, 7. He had 2, 7.
I guess 7.
Right, 7 out the pool. You have 8, so there are 4 left in the pool. I think you're supposed to pick up Wukong here every time.
Yeah, I would pick up these 2.
I don't think you're playing Rebel Cyber. I think you're playing 3 Cybers. From the spot. You're gonna have to roll on 8.
Yeah.
I don't think I can go.
Yeah, I would roll like next turn, and I would try to like probably try to like I'd probably play like 3 Cyber with like some random like Kale stuff.
Resolution.
I make
Jinx,
that.
I think you make it. Yeah, I think you make it. I think it goes in Revolution and you put red buff on it.
Yeah. Okay. Like this. Then.
Keep going. Gotta find this stuff.
Wukong.
Yep, I think I make it. GP, I think I pick it up.
Vi. Probably wouldn't go much lower than 10 here.
By the GP pair.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah, GP pair is pretty big. Because if you had GP2, you can still play it in this comp.
I would put the cloak here on the Leon.
Yep, that's fine. But yeah, it's looking like you're gonna have to pivot into a Brawler Blaster with maybe GP or something.
Yeah.
Because you cannot run this Aurelia 1 for much longer. I would consider selling Ezreal, Lucian, and Thresh here for 20. But it's up to you if you.
I probably wouldn't if I was like.
Okay.
Just like I might like.
Buy Malphite.
Yeah. So.
It's another Aurelia too.
there's like...
Yeah, I think you have to sell this early now. Move items to Jinx.
Okay, so I would do this, and then probably do
Yeah,
this.
play Vi. Yep.
And then I would do...
Last Whisper on Jinx.
Wait.
You need a Blaster in play.
Oh yeah, fuck, I didn't see that. Should have played him, probably.
Put the Frozen Heart on the Vi. Leave the Death Cap on bench for currently. Vi, bottom left. Or top left. That Vi, or enough kind of smurfed. Yeah, you're not going to play 3 or 4 Blaster, I don't think, here. Probably just...
Yeah, probably just 2 Blaster.
Yep.
Because I'm too far off the others, and I have too much other strong shit, so...
Yep. I think if you can, or possibly get a GA next Carousel, I think you should definitely prioritize that. Or a defensive item that can go on GP, because I think you're playing GP this game.
Okay.
You want... Oh, this early, I should pick it up again. I would continue rolling, because you're not strong enough here.
Okay.
Lucian.
I think
you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you make it. Yeah, make that too. You should play it over Shogat though. And you can play Lucian over Fiora if you want.
Okay.
Move it back, move it back, move it back. I like to move the Lucian back.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
You want to frontline the Leona at this point. You want to use something else as fodder.
And then the Death Cap.
I think you hold it.
Okay.
I think you hold it for now because it wants to be on GP if you end up playing GP. Which I think you might have to. Make sure you make 10 gold here though.
Okay, I would probably sell the Thrust then.
Yep. So you probably want really in over the Fiora.
I would take the
really
Blade Master. You're just gives me a lot.
I don't think you take Blade Master. It doesn't give you enough.
Okay.
I would take MF every time.
But now
here, Blade Master's fine here.
Okay.
I think it's Blade Master or Warmogs probably.
I mean, I think I would have taken the MF, but I don't. I never think I would like get an MF.
Yeah, that's fair.
When I'm like,
All right, go back to your board and think about what you're doing here. How do you get stronger? So you pretty much want this rally in, right?
Yeah, for the, I need like.
Obviously, you would prefer being 9 here, but going 9 is not going to happen this game.
Yeah.
So how do you get stronger?
I don't think I played this not without Demolitionist and he's 1-star, and so
I think you keep him in case you 2-star him when you roll down, but you're probably selling him if you don't hit this round. But I think you have to roll.
Okay, this probably goes on.
I think that's Yellow Castellan. But you should use Leona's frontline instead of Fiora.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would put it on.
You should play the Lucian
over the
Ezreal. I would
put it on Castellan, considering he can ult faster.
Yeah, what you probably should do though is play Lucian over Ezreal, and then you give Blade Master to him.
Okay. So we'll just do that.
But it's fine because you're playing 3 chrono. All right, this one you can never beat. Let's go. Perfect Sigs. It's kind of close though, not bad. I think you still Shogath GP here. You gotta go to 0 here though, because you're 1 hit potentially.
Okay.
Or not 0, but like you gotta roll a little bit. Don't sell it yet. Don't sell it yet. Probably buy that. Yeah.
And then
play it over Fiora. Or you can't play it over Fiora. You need to get this Thresh in though for 4 chrono. Probably over Leona. Lulu's good. Yeah.
Sell it?
No, I think you keep it for now.
Okay, I
think
think
you put Estriel back in over Lucian.
Okay, and then
that's probably your best board. You should death cap something. Probably Vi is the best unit.
Really? I would probably put it on Kassadin.
Because Vi assassinates a target, right? With the death cap.
Okay.
You should clean up the bench from bad units like Malphite.
Malphite him, and I would this.
I think you can keep it earlier.
I don't make money off it.
By 1 HP. You're not getting last at least. This is a rough game though, because you had really good cyber stuff, but you couldn't get the Aurelia.
There's like fucking 5 cyber players, yeah.
Yep, that's unfortunate. I haven't seen like a cyber player in a couple games. And you get 3 in 1, that sucks. especially when you prioritize it. So you need to get Cyber in probably, because you're playing random Fiora 1, right? So
Yeah.
it's almost always Aurelia over Fiora, or you just don't play the Blade Master at all. I don't think the Blade Master is probably worth it. Most likely just play Leona over the Fiora here and just skip the Blade Master.
Okay.
Yeah, now you gotta go to 0. Hope you just high roll Aurelia or something.
Okay, I make this
Oh,
for
that's
sure.
good. Yep.
Okay. And then Kale. I don't think Acel's good enough. Kale again.
MF.
Okay, I think she. Kale one
She keep rolling. She keep rolling. Keep rolling. Save time. Hope you hit Kale or something. Alright. I'll play Leona over Fiora.
Okay. Like that, and then.
Because you get Vanguard.
QSS.
Probably Thresh. Probably Thresh.
She pulled,
Yeah.
and then.
Sell the bad stuff you don't want to be pulled.
Probably want. The Kale's like. I guess
You
I'm
probably
one
wanna play
shot, so like I would play Kale 2-star, but not.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I have to keep it. 4 Chrono Jinx. This is a play what you hit kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep getting the Aurelia back.
Okay,
So it would be so nice to get this in, and you would love it on 9, but it's 44 gold to level. Can you actually ever get there? So say you sell the Lulu or NMF, you get back to 30 or 20, and then you would sell Fiora something plus Lucian, you go up to.
I have to survive
30.
like 2 to 3
Yeah,
rounds.
it's two turns either way.
I don't think I do
that. I think you just hold here and you hope you win this round. If you win this round,
yeah.
I think you're selling back to 20. Or actually selling up to 30 if you win this round.
Yeah, also I haven't been like scouting at all here.
It's fine, it's fine.
Like...
You have to talk and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously you're going to scout a little bit less. Bound to happen. Yeah, looks like this fight's doomed. Yeah. That's okay though. You take a 5th that game. It's rough when your comp's all taken.
Yeah.
So like what you could do differently in that game is like roll it all down to 4-3 and pray you hit the Aurelia before the others, but then you're probably gonna get 8th if you don't hit it.
Yeah,
so,
I know. So like,
say you don't have money to do anything else. I think that's fine though. Getting a 5th here, but it's an awkward position to be in, for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't...
especially when you couldn't pick that vest up from Carousel, because then the GA gets stuck on Jinx, which is doable, but then you can't use like the IE Last Whisper kind of stuff, right? So that's really weird. You would need to remake the Jinx, and that's a lot of gold. You had a potential to play Rebels, but when the vest goes on a unit that you would upgrade that you can't really sell, that sucks. So you have to make do with what you can. Your items weren't really good enough after Raptors to play anything that's not like a makeshift 3 cyber comp.
Yeah, I think it was just a bit unlucky game, but that's like, this game feels like my last game.
If you look at the top 4 though, but yeah, look at the top 4. Yeah, they're all super strong. They all hit the rerolls, like every single player. So it's a tough game to play like Cybers in, because people are gonna spike so hard. It's gonna be hard to streak. Like if this game did not have 4 rerollers that all hit, you would have probably been 100 HP streaking, or not 100, but like close to it, streaking all game. Then you could just have gone 9 super quickly, and then be in a lot better of a spot. Or if you had like a little bit different items, you could have definitely played Kale here. But I think getting a 5th in this game is completely reasonable and probably among the better placements. Unless like you could have obviously gotten higher if you got some better matchups towards the end and save some more HP.
Yeah, and if I actually like scouted, maybe I could have like won or like saved HP in a couple of rounds.
Yep,
but
for sure. But it's gonna be a lot harder when you're talking to somebody actively and trying to like think of decisions. All right, so I have some things I want to go over here. So I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay.
All right, so early game, there were a couple of things about positioning. But again, it's the same thing. You were talking, so you forgot about scouting.
Yeah.
That happens. But I think it was... First round is fine. You lost because of I think if you position differently and you like put your units to the side this fight, you probably win the first one. Just because of the way the resets would pan out.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't center them, so that Jarvan got all the focus, right? You probably get the resets and everything. I think how would you have to position into this guy actually? So you want, all right, then no, that's just a different guy. I was thinking about the second fight. No, wait, did I skip it? I did. I need to get a better
the first
back software. Oh, I was? Oh, I skipped the first one. Oh, I see. Wait, what? No, that would be it. Okay. Probably need a better software for this. Makes it easier to skip.
Hit the back arrow twice and it skips like, I think it skips 10 seconds or something.
Oh, I went back to the start.
Or I mean like the
arrow
key
on the keyboard.
Yeah, sorry.
I see, okay.
Not like the backspace delete button thing.
Alright, smart. I never actually knew this. That helps so much.
Yeah.
Jesus, thank you. Should know this after like fucking 30 sessions. Okay. See how, yep. So if you would have had your Graves like right here
if
and
everybody
your Darius
was,
here.
if everybody would like move three to the right.
Yep. But I think this guy needs to be like right here or here. And then I think you win this, or you could potentially win it with the way resets would pan out. Because if you see the health here, like
no, he would kill everything but redemption.
Ulti, yeah, the second ulti would kill this, and then kill this, and then kill this, right?
Yeah.
Potentially. Alright, so I think leveling here is fine. Just because you actually get significantly stronger. You're not weak at all here. Or not here, so wait, was it this turn? Or was it the next turn?
We leveled on 2.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 2-5 is the... Dude, I'm so out of it. Holy shit. Sorry. 2-5 is right here. Yeah, the level here is completely good. I think it's absolutely fine. Because you're staying above 10 gold.
Yeah, because we have like 4 2-stars as well as getting Vanguards in. Yeah.
So, alright. So positioning here. I need a fucking pen tool as well, but can you see my cursor, by the way?
Yeah, I can see it.
Alright, good. So the way I think you should position this is you always want Poppy around here or like here, depending on which side you lean towards. If you do all center, you want Poppy in the middle. This should be your fodder unit for something, probably for your Darius. Not that it really matters because if he gets hooked,
there was one Blitzcrank player, and he was like 2 squares up from Leona, I think.
Okay.
That was why I put the Poppy there, so the Poppy would get pulled.
But then you run into the issue where your carry takes all the aggro. Because in this case, your tank, which is Darius, like your secondary tank, is also your carry. So you don't want him to actually get aggro, like all of the aggro. So him taking damage from stuff like 1 or 2 units, that's fine. But you don't want him to take damage from like their strongest unit, which in this case is Lucian, but he hit this because of the way you position. So here it's actually fine into this guy. But if you get somebody who's leaning towards a single side and it's not the Poppy side, say they're here, they're gonna destroy this and then all focused areas.
Yeah.
And then he probably doesn't get to clean up. Because win fights you need him to really clean up heavily. Can't remember if you end up I think you end up losing this. No, we win this round, yeah.
Yeah, we win like the next 3.
Yeah, exactly. I think you should want Poppy around here. You probably want Leona as a random fodder unit, either here or just here to tank. You want this guy in the front row because you want his ulti to hit stuff like Saya quickly.
Okay.
And you want him to go in a little bit late. He can take aggro, but not from more than like maximum 2 units. Because you want him to live long enough to clean up. Otherwise, I think it's fine. This round was okay as well. That guy got extremely lucky. Yeah, here he should put the Graves up a little bit. I think you're fine. Probably put Graves. Let me pause. You probably want Graves here, Leona here, or maybe Fiora here, Darius here, and then like Leona backline if there's a blitz. Otherwise, just Leona front line somewhere in this vicinity. I think it's a little bit awkward positioning 5 melee units, but All right, this fight ended up well. So it was the 3-2 round.
Yeah, like
this one's pretty big in terms of positioning. The poppy should always be here, always. It's
but
really
like
big.
I think at this point we were talking about like
Yeah, we were talking and
slam the Last Whisper in.
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So the Last Whisper Slam makes such a difference because you get to basically put everything into range for Darius by the time he ultis. Lucian 1 with this is still going to be strong enough to nuke like most people, except for obviously the guy who hits Saya 3 K3.
but like even if we're running like 3 cybers like we're doing here, you don't care about like putting components on Leona and Fiora.
Not for Leona 1 ever. I think putting the belt on Fiora is fine, but I don't think you want to put Last Whisper components on Fiora. I think they always go on Lucian. If you have components for like a major damage item, that's also really good. Same goes for belt. I would probably not put it on or Fiora here. I would just put everything on Lucian.
Yeah, like
just because it's red buff.
But say we have like a cloak and a belt, like you,
if you had a cloak, I would definitely. All right, so you had these items, but say this was a cloak, or like one of these were. Say you didn't have the Last Whisper, and that was like a cloak and a bow. Then you probably just put bow Fiora and cloak Leona.
Yeah,
because
that's what I usually do. But like, yeah, I wouldn't
when you have an item like Last
Whisper
Whisper
on like Leona and Fiora.
Yeah. Good, you're good. But yeah, when you have like a Last Whisper here, you definitely jam it because it's gonna be really strong these couple rounds, and you should be on Lucian every time. But I think this belt, if you want to put this belt on Fiora, that's okay. Because this is stuck here for now.
Yeah, I think I might have been like too. How do I say this? I was too like focused on getting red buff Lucian. I think more than trying to see my other options.
Because it's gonna be a little bit until you sell this Darius. Yeah. So the belt doesn't have to go on Lucian. But it's not bad on Lucian either because it's health and it's going on him later anyways. And if you aren't able to make red buff, that's a pretty big deal. And you don't really want to get stuck with a belt on your Fiora 2 and not find another Fiora if you end up going 6 cybers, right? Okay, I think these rounds are fine. That was the 3-5 ass sign. I think leveling here is correct because you can, like if you don't get any units that you want, you just go 50 anyways. Otherwise, you still go to at least 40. And then after the camp, you're back at 50, and then you can fast 8 if you want to. I think you're in a good spot to level here every time with the amount of gold you have. And you also actually add a significant buff to your comp in Kassadin and Mana Reaver, which is a lot bigger than a lot of people think because Mana Reaver is insane, especially with Darius 2. And Kassadin is just an insane unit.
Yeah.
He almost always ultis. Like there's barely any scenarios where he doesn't ulti.
Only like Kassadin one late game doesn't ult all the time. So.
Yep. But even then, he ults like half the time.
Yeah.
Unit's crazy good. You played the 2 strongest people here pretty much after leveling, which kind of sucks, but it's still fine. You actually got to pick up a lot of forecasts that gave you some direction and certainty of what to play, which is nice.
I think that probably like this game, if you weren't like if I wasn't talking to you, I would have probably ended up with a Brawler Blaster, considering like that all the Aurelias were taken. Like when I found the Jinx pair, I think it's next turn, I would probably just go Brawler Blaster from there because I think I found like I already have like Vi and Ezreal.
Good items as well.
Malphite,
Yep.
I'd probably make like the death cap that goes on MF.
Yeah, it's completely fine. I think if we scouted here and knew the amount of cyber players, now we didn't because we were talking.
Yeah.
We would also come to that conclusion that you're playing a Jinx comp 100% of the time. But we weren't sure about the amount of Aurelia's gone, right? So instead, we kept the option open. I should probably have told you to scout more here, but we're discussing options instead.
Yeah, there was something we were talking about. I don't remember what it was, but
yeah, I can't remember either. I have this muted for now. I can go over it later. I think this is fine. You're strong here. You can go back to 50, but yeah.
Because all we're missing is like Irelia and Lucian.
This is where we were talking about the amount of Aurelius. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're only missing Aurelia, one Lucian 2, and then
Because here there was only 4 out of the pool, if I remember correctly, and then there was 8
like
on the Raptor rounds.
They went away real quick. A lot of people pivoted into it. But yeah, it really sucks that you could not take this Jinx.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have gotten it either way, but
yeah, so you can't put items on a unit like on this carousel run, because if we could have if we could have made an item on Jinx, it would have popped off, but I don't even know if it's possible to do.
No. I mean, it's possible if you're upgrading it to get like a 2-star, right? You can easily pop it off, but
yeah, but like if you can put like because it only has 2 items, if I remember correct.
You would have to remake it entirely.
Yeah.
So like it's okay because you can make GA, Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, but then you need to play red buff on something else, which in my opinion I think is worse. But it's completely fine. But I think because you have this death cap, you have Frozen Heart, you had half a GA. I think if you're playing a Jinx comp this game, especially because you don't really have any upgraded brawlers, you don't have a Blitz, you don't have a Malphite 2, going into Brawler Blaster is really awkward, and you're probably just gonna fall off a cliff.
Yeah, I would probably
So I think Rebels is like your only Jinx option, unless you're playing makeshift 3 cyber comp with random Jinx in, like we did.
Yeah.
But then we're playing for like a 5th, 4th, right? I think that's better.
I would have probably just sat and rolled after the Raptors, because I think this is like strong enough to. Because we have everything upgraded except for like Lucian and Aurelia. So
you're in a definitely a good spot here, or a decent spot to get options. It just sucks because the items you got were kind of shit. You got one. It was a cloak.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
I think we hit everything here except, and then we put in like Thresh over Aurelia, or we keep running the Aurelia.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But we had like almost everything.
We had Aurelia for one more round. Yeah, you were greeting one more round in case you hit the Aurelia. Because like just playing 3 or like double carry with Jinx and Aurelia is really good here. That probably makes would make you able to top 3 if you hit Aurelia 2 with these items and just had rebuff Jinx. I think that's obviously better.
Because I think we never saw Echo either, if I remember correctly.
No, you never saw Echo.
Yeah, so we would have never been able to go. Like, probably would have just kept this board anyways. If I was playing since I didn't find Echo.
It's like this should be your board, like, or the comp I was thinking about, but level 9 plus Aurelia 2, right? That's probably the comp. Well, Aurelia with those items though. That would be like the ideal comp this game, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe Thresh over something, and probably not Fiora over. I don't know. I can't think currently of what the comp would be at the end. You would probably want for Chrono, and then Jinx, Aurelia, Kale, or something if possible. Maybe you can't put the.
Usually, like if I'm playing Cybers and I can't find Echo, I usually play like 3 or 4 Cybers with like 4 Chrono or like Celestials.
Yep. I think that was the
depends a little bit
play as well. But yeah, I think all in all, there's not much that went wrong in this game. There were a few like positioning errors early, which I think were fine. But all in all, I think like you played well, and you didn't show any signs of like major mistakes or missteps at all. I think it was decent. Got a little bit unlucky there on the Aurelius. All of them got taken, because I think if you get Aurelia 2 with the items you had, you could just play 3 Cybers and probably top 3. Because you would beat the Poppy player every time. You would potentially be able to beat the Saya person if you position accordingly. You could have even gotten Gangplank in on 9 with Death Cap or something, if you didn't hit it and you hit GP2 instead. But play like demo GP with Death Cap on 9 instead of 2 Chrono or something.
Yeah, which
is really strong because it helps Jinx pop off. Yeah, you had a lot of options here. You're just unlucky you didn't hit the ideal ones, but getting a... Not sure why I told you to put the Lucian in here. I think I wanted Lucian over the Ezreal ideally, but I didn't see that immediately. I think he could be your Death Cap placeholder for a bit, right? I think that was my thought or train of thought. But yeah, there's not much else in this game that we have to go over. So, do you have any questions regarding that game?
No, I think we covered everything.
All right, we can try to hop into game. I'm just gonna run through the bathroom. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'll queue
then
up
we can
in the
go ahead with the
meantime.
second game. All right, cool. Back in a sec.
Freeze
That was a
mage.
golden age. That was the best time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that meta. Like, even though Secret Paladin was a little bit annoying, like it still was like really fucking fun to play.
You had the most fun decks of all time during that.
Yeah, and then like
era.
the what was the one called with like Yogg-Saron and that kind of shit?
Yeah, Yogg-Saron. That was the what's that called? That was the old gods, ancient
Yeah,
or something
like
old
that.
gods.
Yeah.
Whispers of the Old Gods. There we go.
Yeah.
I think that expansion was also really good, like in terms of competitive play. Even though Jogstrom was a yoke,
Yeah, it was
the meta was really fun. The decks were super fun and actually really difficult to play some of them.
The reason I stopped playing them was it just cost too much. I already spent like 2,000 Norwegian crowns on like cards.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I feel you, man. I also spent way too much. I also spent way too much fucking money on that game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to know how much I actually spent. I know, like, I have an idea, but I really don't want to know. The exact amount. It's actually really bad because, like, I played for a long time and I played competitively, right? So I spent money on my main account and I went for golden cards.
Oh.
Because I didn't submit a single deck to a tournament that wasn't fully golden.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I spent a little bit too much money, and then also you had the NA account, right? So you need to play NA for tournaments.
Oh.
So, but I didn't go for golden on that one. I know that I could disenchant my collection now and have like 1 or 2 million dust. So I don't really want to know how much I spent. Okay. I know that I made a profit of Hearthstone though, luckily.
Yeah, I would sell this and buy these, and then
I agree. Yep.
And then I would probably
Malphite pair. I think you're supposed to play the 6 here for sure. Just during the turn, and then
okay, I would sell the 6 because we don't have items.
You would sell 6
and buy like Malphites.
I would
and
always keep probably... 6 here.
Okay.
Because 6 is really good right now. No, just because he's a fucking great unit currently.
Oh yeah, because like the recent buff as well. And I would probably.
And I think you're supposed to pick up Malphite Graves here.
Yeah, I would always sell him. Okay.
Just sell the others. Just make sure you get it. All right, good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, we got red buff starts. So I'm looking at like Cybers, Brawler, Blaster.
Yeah, bro, you're actually so strong if you want to play Rebels here. I think you make the Sigs. I think you take.
I always take. I
would always take
Graves. The Lucian here, and I would.
Yeah, you take Lucian, and you should take the as well. I don't think you care about the Leona pair. I would sell Caitlyn for Graves and then roll.
Okay, let me just play these real quick, and then I want this. So I would probably sell. What I would have done, I would have sold the Malphite for Leona, and then I would like sell this for Fiora.
Okay.
We'll see if we get gold.
I don't think. Yeah, I personally don't think you should sell Malphite pair or Graves pair ever. I think they're way too good. I think you're just leaving the Fiora.
Really? Okay, I would never do that, but okay.
Because your board's just strong enough. If you were to hit this Graves and Malphite, you just play that with Lucian, and that's gonna be stronger.
Okay. Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you make Malphite. You make Malphite. I think you make Malphite 100% of the time. You play
over Sigs.
Yep.
Okay.
You sell Sigs, call 6, and you buy this Lucian 2.
And then I would make red buff here.
Yeah, red buff. But you want to make Lucian 2 first. So I would sell 6 and call 6 here.
Okay.
Yep. Frontline the Malphite a little bit more.
I don't think I could have moved it in time, but
that's fine.
I usually like I either position like this for like Blitzcrank, or like usually I'll have time. I will have time to scout, but it's a little bit like you don't have much as much
this
time
galaxy,
in this galaxy. Yeah,
sure.
Then we probably pick up
double Vanguard.
I think red buff might do work. I'm not too.
Maybe. All right.
If
not quite. That's fine.
I think if I made like best on Malphite, that would have made the difference. But
sure. I don't think.
But I don't think I would do it because it's like not too flexible. Okay.
Yeah. Let's pick up one cost and roll ones.
Fiora.
It's currently weaker, but it's stronger next turn. Actually, is it even? I don't even think it's stronger next turn to play Cyber here.
I think we probably like depending on.
You should move up the Malphite before you forget.
Okay.
And scout if you have to.
Okay, no Blitzcrank, so we can just.
Yeah, so you don't need to backline. Like, nice. Okay, good shot.
Yeah, like if we hit like Graves 2, I would go level 5 and play like 3 Cybers plus Malphite Graves.
Yep, for sure.
I probably, if I win these 2, I'll still probably do it anyways.
Yep. I think you win these. It's because it doesn't have Deathblade like the last guy.
Yeah.
Cast again? Oh, I'm lucky. I think it's a win.
Unless he dodges.
Nice. I think you buy Sona over the Zoe here.
Yeah.
And the Lucian 2 start, looking great.
Okay.
Yeah, I will pick up Sona also as well before I roll. TF. I think
probably
it's
wants to
actually the
get
best unit here.
for one
It's the best
turn,
unit.
and I sell Yasuo.
I would play it over Yasuo. Yeah, sell Yasuo.
And something. Wait, let me just. I'll wait a little bit before I scout, because some people put in like last second. So
you cannot make money here. If you go to 5, 6, you cannot pre-level either, unless you want to sell the Leona Fiora. So I think you just sit with this.
There's one Blitzcrank player, so
right,
I'll probably put Malphite like 1 or 2 squares to the right as well. But
so Blitzcrank is your best unit next turn to make the strongest board.
Yeah.
Over Cybernetics as well, because the Cybers don't do much. They give some damage to Lucian, but the Chronos can do more.
Yeah, like when these two are just 1-star, they're not like super good, but okay, probably Rakan, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I think I would pick up the Jarvan just because people are probably looking for it. Because there are at least 2 side players.
Okay, yeah.
But like, it doesn't really matter. You're selling it next turn anyways.
I kind of want to keep the Poppy in case we get our 2-star and this 2-star as well. On this carousel, I probably want a sword, because if it's Brawl or Blaster, we want sword. If it's Cyber... If it's Cyber, we might actually want glove. I think it's like glove or sword here for sure.
Yep, you take the best one you can.
Yeah, we're like... I think... Oh, we're last pick, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably 2 cost glove over 1 cost sword here. Did I actually put the recorder on? Please tell me I did. I did. Good shit. I think Rod's fine too if you don't get sword here. Alright, get the sword.
I would take sword. Feels a little bit bad to take a 1 cost, but...
Yeah, it does. Especially when you're kind of poor, but it's a lot better than getting cloak here. If you had a rod left over, I think taking cloak is always the best, because spark is insane.
I like always make spark on stage 2 if I can.
Same. That item is nuts. Here, take sword. Oh, double blitz. And a Jace. I think... Yeah, alright, first of all, level. After you buy the splits, sell the bullshit on the left. All of it.
I
think...
Then level and roll. Okay.
Yeah, level. Alright, sell Zoe Puppy by blitz too.
He wants to get played. Probably want to do something like this.
This is fine, yeah.
And then I would sword TF, because we're probably not going to play him, right?
I think you're sorting Lucian.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I would
just remake him if I'm playing Cybers. Because he uses sword a lot better.
So you would use the sword here because it's better early and mid game, but it makes you weaker late game. But because of like the power you get, like you don't really care about if your Lucian is like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like towards the late game, I don't care if you're
like,
Lucian 1 or Lucian 2.
Personally, I think I would sword the TF because I'm already like strong enough, and
sure, that's fine.
And I'm probably selling the TF on like stage.
You're almost always selling it later
before like stage 3. So
yeah, this Lucian uses a sword so much better. So if you actually play somebody, oh shit, yeah, this is a Jinx game.
Okay, yeah.
You should buy Darius in a roll.
Oh wait. Okay.
Wukong, holy shit, you're actually hitting so many good
fucking...
things. You don't have money though at all, but just make sure you win the next round. So look at the top guy.
Yeah, we already played him. Oh yeah,
you already played that guy.
We can play him again.
So who's the strongest person you can play this round?
We can play this guy as well. And yeah, we played like the...
Make sure you hook that Sigs, which you do currently, so you're fine.
Yeah, we hook both of the Sigs.
Yeah. Alright, good.
Okay, so I want to keep the...
You can keep everything here.
Yeah.
I think if you win, you can sell the Caitlyn and Darius and buy Wukong if you want to, but I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think I would do it, because like even if I get Darius too, he's probably not getting played.
I mean, he's being played on 6 with this board, probably. Unless you have 2-star Cybers.
Yeah,
you play Darius too.
I would probably like look to put in like Cybers or just more front line, because I think I have more than enough damage with like... Lucian.
Sure, you have enough damage, but the thing is you don't... Like, the reason for putting in Cybers is getting more damage on Lucian, right? You get 35 AD. Because you don't actually have items to put on the other Cybers. So they don't really do much. Make sure you make 10 gold here. You have to make 10 gold here.
Okay, so I would sell...
You should probably move up that Malphite, but it's okay.
Yeah, like... Oh wait, no, I think
he's 1 spot to the right.
Yeah, and
you still can't lose here because you have all 2 stars.
Yeah, I forgot I need to put the Blitzcrank at 1 more to the left, so he hooks this one. But this is 4, 6...
Alright, be ready to sell. Yep. You sell Shen probably. Or Fiora.
Okay.
Just make sure you sell. You can keep that, it's okay. Alright, do you have to level here? That's a Kale. He leveled. What does he add? Blade Master Crown. He's looking for Shun. I think you probably don't level here.
Yeah, I think I'm too poor.
People are spiking as well. You should roll though. Roll first. Roll first.
Okay. Vi.
You should buy Vi. Yeah, just sit for now. I think I make GA every time. Every time.
On who?
Either TF or Lucian. I would put it on Lucian just for power. And then it's like
because we have to remake them anyways. I would probably just. I don't know if I would have made.
Because you're swapping items to Jinx anyways. You're not playing Cybers this game.
Okay, wait. Do we?
Keep the Sigs. I would do. I should sell up to 20 though. Probably the Cassidy and the stuff.
I think
like Zoe.
Like I would sell all the 1-cost savers since we win, but.
Yeah. But I would like to keep the Sigs over Cassidy here.
Okay.
And buy Sigs pair. Over Zoe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I could have made it. But okay, he showed up again.
Because you have 3 Rebel later. Level before you roll.
That's true. Fuck, I forgot about that.
It's a good game. Level though.
I would probably play.
You should play Ezreal and Jinx over TF.
No turning back now.
Yep.
Probably.
You're fine. No, just put it there. It's okay.
She's not getting played.
Not playing TF anymore, so you can sell him. You're never playing Poppy. You're never playing Leon. You're never playing. Yeah, you sell those two, but you're never playing the small Cybers.
Okay.
This game. So you probably sell this. That's a 6-3. You might actually lose this. Hopefully you don't though. Maybe.
She's rocket mode, so.
Ezreal ulti. Alright, you're chilling. Nice. Good. Even though you're kind of poor this game, if you win the next round, you're leveling to 7 every time.
Yeah, I think I would, because like my win streak is like, if I keep win streaking, it's like having 30 gold passively.
Yep. Alright, Ezreal roll.
Jace?
You can pick up the Jace if you want to, but you're not playing him.
I mean, I'm probably not playing Vanguards. My next level is probably a Rebel, I would think.
Yes, Rebel or... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Or Vi. I think you always got to make 30 here, though.
Yeah, so I would sell these two, and then I would sell 1 Sigs if I...
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fine. Hopefully you win here, though. I think you should... Depends on this
if
Fiora.
Graves will ult the... Oh, I didn't ult.
Nope, he doesn't ulti. That sucks. Alright, you lose then. That sucks.
Okay, so now I would not level here. But would you still level?
No, you don't level.
Yeah, okay. Because we have
I think you beat that guy if you position perfectly, but that's tough to do.
Okay, so I would probably go for the Cho'Gath bow or the Karma bow to make Giant Slayer.
Yep, that's fair.
There's no argument to take like another...
You could take Jinx as well. I would consider Jinx here. I think I do take Jinx here every time. Because you just pop that belt off or you make Draft Call.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because... okay, I would go for Vest here.
Oh, yes. I would take Sword.
Okay, yeah.
Now you take Vest. The reason why I would take Sword is Deathblade. Deathblade is really good this patch.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
You already have GA, so I think Deathblade's fine. Pick up the Lucian. Fiora as well. I probably will.
Nothing really I want here. I can pick up this just to give me more options. Sell this.
I think your strongest board here might be to cut the Ezreal and Jinx, play Cybers. And you can put Vest on your Vi.
Like this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then you can frontline the Blitz as well. Instead of Fiora.
Okay, and then she gets the
Vest. Yep. Yeah. I think this is stronger for now.
And then I probably never make... I probably never make...
I think it's fine selling Kassadin plus 1 Ezreal plus Lucian if you want to make money.
Kassadin and the...
I wouldn't sell both Ezreals. I would keep one. Sell the Lucian if you have to make... Or sell it to make money.
Okay. Personally, I would have sold...
I think it keeps 6 every time.
Okay.
Because you have really good
because of the
rebel items.
Okay.
So Vi.
I want this.
Better than
this.
Fiora.
Want this. This is probably never getting played.
All right. So, do you want to keep the Aurelia for the option of Cybers here, or do you want to?
I would personally do it. Because
Okay.
if I can go Cyber...
do you think your items are good enough to go Cyber, though?
It depends what I get here.
Sure.
But, like, as of right now, probably
If you're keeping it, then play it over Fiora. Aurelia.
Oh, wait.
Fiora,
Yeah, sorry.
bottom
Just a
right.
bit too slow.
That's okay. Man, so many Saya players in these lobbies. What the hell?
Yeah. It's like almost almost all my lobbies. There's at least 1 or 2 Saya players.
Yeah, seeing 1 is really normal, but seeing 2 every lobby, that's a little bit of a stretch, I feel like. Yeah, that
she
rare
kills
Salty came in
yeah.
clutch. You win here. Buy the Darius over the Nico.
Okay. I want the
You should buy the
Ezreal and I
Ezreal
want the
over
Shen.
Darius, probably. Do you want Shen as well?
I personally want Shen. Because I like playing Shen Ezreal with like Cybers and then go 9 and he gets replaced with the MF.
Then
and
sell
then I
6
can
if you want
push.
to.
Yeah.
I don't see a Cyber game here, but it's up to you. It's your preference. Right,
I think,
make that by
yeah.
6. You want the Shen though, so they should probably be Shen over Segs.
Yeah, this is like
that
what I
case.
personally would do. Like
Yep,
I would see
that's
like look at my items here to see like what we get. We got glove bow. That's like here I
Last
think we can
Whisper.
go Cybers because we already have like
if you look at your like what you
Let me
just
just
got
scout
though,
real quick.
you got a Shogath, so you have Brawler Blaster live if you want it with Jinx.
um,
You have you also have Giant Slayer, or you have Last Whisper, and I think it's Last Whisper in that case. Always Last Whisper here,
okay, so wait. So
and I think you're supposed to play Brawler Blaster this
yeah,
game.
I would just
Level
here,
first.
and
So
then
put in
like
Shogath.
this.
Put in show. Put in show.
Okay, and then this I would make
Yeah, you can make
Ezreal
that.
and buy
Yeah.
this. You're starting to get
So
build.
you're really poor here.
Yeah,
This
I
is
know.
why I would probably just not go for Cybers in this case, but it's still fine if you want to do that. It's just preference on comps. But if you're going Cybers, you should be selling this Jinx
Yeah.
to make money. But you need to sell something else with it because you have to make 30 here, I feel like. So in that case, it's probably Shen. If you win. If you lose, you keep it.
Yeah. Okay, let me.
But you're probably going to play Rebels this game because you're too poor. But you can play Brawler Blaster if you want
let me
to.
just scout real
You
quick
can still
here.
go to the Rebels late game, but
He's playing Kale or Dark Stars probably, and then this guy's probably playing Kale.
yeah,
There's no Brawler, Blaster player, or Cyber player, so we can go either. But
you can go either. But you have to decide.
yeah, I
You
would.
want the Shogat?
If I was playing
if
by
you-
myself, I would definitely go Cybers here.
Okay, then go Cybers.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Once,
Make it.
and then I would make.
You probably want Lucian or Ezreal in play over Graves as well. Just noticed.
Yeah. There's like. I know we're like talking, so it's.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's easy to miss stuff when you're discussing things at the same time.
I would probably sell Cho here if I
Yeah.
win,
For sure.
but it's not looking pretty.
You also want this Aurelia in play so you can get the Last Whisper in play.
Yeah.
I would sell 1 Fiora here to make 30. Oh,
Oh
you
god.
buy those Jinx before you roll. Buy all the forecasts. You can never go 8 here anyway, so...
Okay.
Yeah, okay, you
Like
take
from
it.
this
You're
spot,
playing
I
Brawler
would
Blaster.
go-
You're playing Brawler
yeah.
Blaster. 100%. There's no argument.
Then we sell this.
Don't put the GA on her, though. Don't put GA on her. Just
Okay.
put Red Buff and Last Whisper on Jinx.
And then
Ezreal
this
over...
is probably
That.
better.
Good.
Red
You're
buff,
missing 1 Blaster, but that's fine. Yep.
Last Whisper, and then.
Yep, and
this-
GA, I would put it on your Shogath.
Okay. Yeah. Why do people like putting GA on Cho'Gath? I don't really.
Because it wants to be Gangplank. You should sell Aurelia here. You should sell the Kale and Shen.
Yeah.
Go up money. If you can make 50 ways, 4, 7, 8. Now you cannot be 50. So you can keep these units.
Yeah. I
Iron
probably would.
40
I
should
definitely would
be
have
probably
pivoted.
Deathblade here.
Sorry.
You should probably go for Deathblade here, or you should go for Spark. I think those are your 2 options.
I would take like.
Oh,
Wait, I
oh yeah,
shouldn't
now
pick-
you take
Sorry,
one
I
of
shouldn't
the...
pick, but that was really
Yeah,
dumb
yeah.
of me. But I would take like the Giant Slayers. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
Giant Slayer's
fucking
best here.
3 of them. But if I don't get Giant Slayer, I would probably go for Morello
You
for
go for-
either Cho
I think-
or
You have Red Buff. I think you should go for RFC if you don't get
But who gets RFC and like Brawler Blaster?
Jinx.
Jinx. Okay.
You should already have your damage items on her. Third one is just luxury. but a really good luxury because this is an amazing item to go with your Last Whisper red buff. It's your arguably best item or perfect item Jinx here.
Okay.
For Brawler Blaster. For Rebels, it's a little bit different, but it's still like the Brawler Blaster items better on Jinx in that comp because it streaks better.
Yeah, we sell this and move
consider
it.
playing that before you sell it. You should roll first.
Yeah.
Okay, you sell it here because you can't level anyway, so you can earliest level next turn.
Yeah.
So
Is this better?
No, Graves is a lot better.
Okay.
If you want to get stronger, you can consider rolling for a Rebel and swapping out Graves for that, and then buffing Jinx with Malphite Rebel.
Yeah.
But
I would probably not roll considering my
yeah, I
HP,
wouldn't roll
and
either.
I would
You're strong
just-
enough here.
I want like money to probably
for
hit
sure.
like the rest of my shit on
Yeah.
5-1.
If you want, you can put the Rod on Shogat. Not that it does anything really, but you probably just keep it off in case you want to make Spark for Vi or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is your worst matchup. RFC, Kale destroys Jinx,
Yeah.
and this guy's really strong. Kale 2, Aurelia 2. Wait, is that a Kale 2 on this bench as well? Is that a Kale 1?
Kale 2.
Oh, interesting. He's getting Kale 3 this game probably. It's 6 of them on 7. All right, you should buy that Yasuo. Yeah, all right. Buff the Jinx with the Rebels here. Put in that over Graves. Let's make a cone in the corner. That's gonna be stronger. Consider moving Jinx back though, instead of top row.
Something like this?
That's fine if you want to do that.
Okay.
I don't really love Blitzcrank backline anymore. I try to avoid it, but it's fine here, and it's fine in Brawler Blaster.
Yeah,
this stage,
like Roller Blaster's the only place where I do it.
Mhm.
Because getting this unit
He-
CC and then
yeah.
getting a free kill really like fast is
Yeah,
good.
for sure. I mean, you still get it if it's frontline. It's just when it's backline, if you pull an enemy Blitzcrank, he just knocks your carry up.
Yeah, and some people
sucks,
like
but-
will put like a tank unit in the back.
Bro, those dodges.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, that's close. That was almost incredibly unlucky. That dodge
Yeah,
like two.
I try to not pay
Dodge.
attention to like the dodges.
Alright, that's Lucian.
This.
You can roll ones. Buy Sigs over something. You should sell the cyber stuff on your bench just to make room.
Want to keep
You
this.
can keep Shen if you want to. You should sell the. I would always sell Leona here. I would always sell Cassiding because you're never playing them.
Okay.
There's like no world
Just,
ever
just
where
to
you play
not
those two
confuse
units.
yourself, I guess.
Just to make it easier for yourself with the bench. I would sell Cassiding as well.
Okay.
Probably also sell Shen, but it's fine to keep him if you want. You can play him on 9 or something. But...
Okay.
Alright. This is a second GA and Spark. Right. Yeah.
We're missing.
I don't roll.
Yeah,
You're
'cause-
going 9.
Okay.
You don't need Shogath. Just play Graves and Lucian over Yasuo. And scout in position as you would normally. Just make sure your Malphite's in the front line. Currently he's 3rd row.
Okay. I need to put her like.
I think that's fine.
Put her like there. Hopefully.
You should make our Guardian Angel on Vi. And Spark on Vi.
Okay.
Those are always your items here. You don't have to complete the Spark now if you feel like it's
Yeah.
potential
Wait, one.
misclick, because it doesn't do anything if you make it during a turn. Then the effect doesn't work. Not sure why that bug is on the game. You can sell the Malphite one on your bench, you're never using it.
It's
MF,
a
nice.
good,
Overloop.
unit and.
Roll. Stop rolling.
Yeah.
You don't need to level. Shogath 2 does not make a difference here.
Spark
and then another Rod on her.
Yeah, because if we get Thieves Close, we might put it on MF.
And it
probably.
also just stacks better because you have AP on Vi already. Just make sure your MF is in a corner or close to a corner or something. In the middle, it's just he's gonna miss her ulti. As most
Okay,
things.
yeah. He has
It's getting hooked by one player, which is fine.
Okay,
guess
fuck,
that guy,
I can't
think.
because he's gonna hook.
Yeah, that's
there, yeah.
okay. But you should just go 9 in this game. Pick up Rebels though, because the late game pivot is almost always Rebels from here. With GP because you have double GA and stuff and Spark.
Yeah. Usually, like, I guess now, like usually what I would do, I would scout, and if like no one else is playing Jinx, I would go for Jinx 3.
Yeah, but there are 2 Rebel players that played Sigs, so they're gonna pick up Jinx.
Yeah.
So don't bother until they die. It's always a gold.
If you get Jinx 3, it's just it's a free win most of the time.
Yeah. Lulu as well. She's good. You should always pick her up if you have access gold. So Aurelia.
Yeah.
Don't buy her.
Lucian is
Saw Lucian
probably
as well.
never getting played.
Yep.
You're
gonna level after Kayn this game. You can pick up Soraka if you want to. You should put her in the corner, the MF. But you need a fodder unit for her. So if you want fodder, it's probably Graves or
Malphite,
Shogat.
I would do.
I think it's Shogat or Malphite or Blitz in like the bottom right corner, and then you could use Estriel as your left side fodder if you want.
Okay.
I don't think you ever put Malphite back because he's a just straight up rock that just tanks. So you want him in the front line. Shogath, he can ulti. He ultis a random target, so it doesn't really matter where he stands.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how you position Shogath, the ult is still random. I think it prioritizes like a clump of units, but
probably
you don't need a
want,
third GA.
We're like second last, so it's probably
it was probably Shoji and Lulu, but I got taken.
I would probably take the Gunblade here and put it on
Sure,
MF.
that's fine. Yep, it's okay. I think it's between Gunblade and Deathblade.
I think she always MF probably wants. I always like prioritize AP items or mana items on her.
Yep, that's fine. You want QSS and then just AP mana on her, I think as well.
Okay.
Red buff is fine if you have better items you want on Jinx, but I think you want the items you have on Jinx, and remaking her is gonna be too hard. Sona, should buy that.
And then we just do this.
Yep. Sell the random forecasts.
Don't want her. Like this.
You can sell Soraka now that you have Sona. You spend money leveling to 50. Nice. Just make it easy for yourself. You have a few strong
I would swap sides here.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, you don't want the Malphite in a corner. It's okay.
Okay, I guess
it's actually pretty good into this.
Yeah. Just saw like the Caustic there, which is fuck my Jinx. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Good spot. Think you win here? Oh, she got hooked. Should still win.
Yeah, the Graves fucking ulted, so yeah.
Why is there? Oh, it's Thieves' Gloves. I thought he genuinely put.
That would be a little bit weird.
Deathblade on a Blitz, yeah.
I actually had a game with Saya. I had 3-star Shen, and I put a Deathblade on him, and like he actually like fucking popped off because of the.
Shen has good base AD, so
yeah.
Or decent base AD. You should roll.
Yeah, nothing we want here.
Don't have to buy anything here. Pick up the Kale because one guy's going for Kale 3, right?
Yeah.
So you should probably put that on bench. You should look at the position your.
Do we ever go for like all the Blitzcranks are on this side.
You can keep them alpha here if you want to, but you want something more towards the center of the front row, though. Yeah, something like this. You generally want Graves in the front, not the back, just because you want the ulti to go off quick.
Okay.
Need this to hit Saya. Alright, you're chilling. Yeah, see this Vi is one-shotting because of the AP.
Okay.
Nice.
Do we ever go for like Vi 3?
No.
Okay.
I think if you do, like, the only thing you're doing now is you're trying to pivot into Rebels for the super late game spike.
Okay.
Or you're gonna play this for a long time.
Probably.
Yeah, you should roll first before you spend gold.
Yeah.
You never go for S12 3, it's a waste of money.
This I was thinking about where this goes. Is probably.
Oh, this goes on MF.
Yeah, I would put it on MF because of the attack speed. And,
Yep, your MF items are probably gonna be GA and Giant Slayer plus what you have. Right. And then Vi items go on GP. Minus Rod probably. Rod goes on something else until Carousel, most likely. But yeah, you're just gonna go 9 slowly. So next turn. And then just try to get GP2, MF2, Lulu 2.
so
like
you would never agreed like one round to get like perfect.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I don't think it's worth the money here because you're only losing 2 gold and you're already at 50.
Okay.
Lulu, buy that. Don't care about that. You should buy the Master Yi, so probably put some random Rebel in play.
Do something like this for now.
That's fine.
This, and then
probably use Estriel in the back where Shogat is.
This as well. Fuck.
Yeah, overkill.
Yeah.
You don't need kill 2 this game.
MF2 is nice.
E2. Stop rolling.
Okay. And sell Kale.
I think you keep one.
Yeah, because
Scout
of
it
the
and see if
priest.
I should put the item on MF. Put the item on MF
Oh, yeah,
real quick.
that's-
The Giant Slayer.
This guy. Kale. Okay, 7 Kales.
Yeah, you should keep all the Kales you see from now on. I don't think you
do
saw
you
Lulu
think
for
it's a
interest
dick
here.
move
Lulu's
to
too
type
good.
in the chat, hold your Kales? Because I think it's like a dick move, even though it's like, it still like would help you.
Yeah, sure. I think it's fine, but I don't think you have to do it here because he's missing 2, and
Yeah.
you should roll though. You buy Shogath for now. You have enough money, but making him is fine. You need to frontline him though.
It's the only thing this splits.
You put Blitz back, most likely.
Do something like this.
That's fine. Yep.
Yeah, I think the Cossack that's here targets the Blitz. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it goes on Blitz and then probably on Aesol. Depends on the
Okay.
pathing Aesol chooses.
Hopefully this doesn't.
This guy's 2 GP. It's already dead. Yeah, no Guardian Angel GP is kind of a throw.
Yeah. Like if I was
MF2
playing by
was pretty big.
myself, I don't think I would ever see this like this rebel pivot or try to go for it.
It's just gonna be stronger than the random blaster or brawlers.
Okay.
So you're getting a lot more damage and you're getting a lot more stats. You also get the shields. You're not even losing HP off the brawlers.
So we're
'cause of the
playing
shield.
6 rebels plus MF, GP,
Yeah, you still
and
show
then
here and you buy
Kale
the
or
Carrelian.
Lulu.
No, you're playing Lulu over Kale.
Okay. but-
It's better.
So
So
here-
still Shogath by the Aesol.
okay, yeah, because we.
Yep. Can keep rolling a little bit if you want during the turn.
Okay,
If you want to make it easy for yourself, or you could save to roll above 50. I don't have to roll above 50.
I would
here.
probably just sit and then
Yeah.
probably.
So, best items is QSS for MF, and then it's something around GP. Death Cap, probably the best. If you want like a list of items you want. Thieves Gloves is fine too for Lulu or Aesol.
Okay, this
Right,
we
it's
want.
GP. You want that, but you need to pop it off once you make GP2. Death Cap's better.
Okay, I think now we take. Or is it ever Celestial with Lulu?
If you don't get that, no, Celestial's fine, but I think Death Cap is better. You can take Rod if you want Death Cap, but you can take Celestial too. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I
It's
would
completely
always take Celestial here probably and play Lulu too.
fine. It's fine. Sephiroth was also good because there's 2 GP players. I think you're supposed to roll down here. You don't have many turns left. You're gonna win this game with just what you have, but
Okay, there's no.
yeah, you don't bother for Jinx 2 other players with Rebels.
Show no. Can't.
Nope. Don't need 6-2. Don't need 6-2. Just roll.
We
Lulu?
make this.
Yep. Saw the SRL one.
Is this ever better?
Yeah, it's better than ship. It's better than ship.
Okay,
Put it
let's
on
do
him
that.
or something. Yeah, it's fine. Just keep rolling, because you only have one more turn after this most of the time, or sometimes 2.
This,
Sona,
this,
GP.
Okay,
Keep rolling. Just go to 20 or something.
more waves.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
you
fine.
always take
Right,
upgrades.
so
'cause
next turn, take out Vi and Shogath. You put in GP, put the AP items and GA on GP. You can leave the last Rod because Garrus is coming up. Second GA goes on MF, and then you want a Rebel in. Probably Sona is the best here.
Okay. Oh yeah, the Kale guy died, so we don't need to hold Kales, I guess.
Yep.
And then we do
sell Shogath
this
and Vi. Yep.
this.
Yep. Sell those units, then I'll move the items. So Spark GA on GP, and then
This
last
goes
Rod
here.
or Rod just put that on SRL or something. Doesn't really matter.
Okay, I prefer.
Or Show
okay.
or Blitz, it's whatever. It's up to you.
I like Blitz
Just roll though.
personally.
Just roll it down for GP. Larger Con. It's better than something probably.
There's no reason to get another MF.
Yeah, it's
Okay, I would
GP.
just stop here because it's.
Yeah, you stop here. So what you do next turn, you take out 2 blasters, you put in rebels, you take out the Blitzcrank, you put in the last or the 6th rebel.
Oh,
You still win here.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
That's a burst. Easy clap. Good shit.
yeah, that was a bit of a high roll.
Everyone was dead at 6-6. That's super rare.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really few, or a lot of few, or not a lot of few, very few games that
Yeah, that was
The game's over by 6-6. That went good though. Let's go over the VOD real quick. So we don't have too much. We're actually at the end of the session already, but we can go over the VOD real quick. It's okay. It's a-okay to go over by a little bit.
There's probably not too much to talk about here, because
No, that game was pretty straightforward, and you were really lucky in terms of both items and units. So
yeah, like Lucian 2 before like Carousel is just crazy.
that is insane. But it's a reroll galaxy. It happens pretty often, actually.
Okay.
Not like really often, but every other game on that galaxy, you're able to get Lucian 2 early, right? Or at least 1 2-star. That's good. All right, let me put on the. Oh, I'm trying to click fucking buttons on the VOD. I'm stupid. I'm trying to open Discord and I'm pressing Discord on the actual VOD. Jesus. All right. See. So the early game, I think there was one decision. Like, that's just preference, though, in terms of what comps you like to play, right?
You think I'm like too? Do you think I'm?
I think you're too stuck on Rep or Cybers. I don't think Cybers are too good right now.
Yeah.
I think they're okay, but they're not something you want to like.
It's also like the comp I personally like know how to play the best,
Sure.
in my opinion. Like in terms of like
The power
positioning.
level is just a lot lower than it has been previously. At least 6 Cybers. Like the 3 Cyber comps are really good. So you wanted to sell like Malphite here for random Cybers,
Yeah,
right?
Malphite for Leona, and then yeah, I think that was just it. Malphite for Leona, and I would probably sell a Caitlyn for Gravesphere.
Okay, so I'm like almost certain that just playing Malphite, Sigs, Lucian, Graves on 4 is just better than Cyber plus Graves if they're 1-star Cybers. Because you don't have items that you can actually spread around on the Cybers. You're just putting them on Lucian. So what you're doing is you're giving 35 AD, 350 HP on Lucian. But if you're playing a Malphite and Graves and Ziggs too, along with Lucian 1, that's going to be stronger than random Cyber ones. Especially with the Ziggs mana nerf. It's 1 less auto to cast the ulti. And his ulti is buffed since the previous patch. So Ziggs is actually kind of a crank. And Malphite's just the best standalone tank early if you don't have a 2 Vanguard buff.
Okay.
So you could have picked up Poppy as well, but then you would have a 1-star frontline.
I would have to sell the Malphites. Yeah.
You would be stuck with 2 1-star Vanguards instead of like next turn you hit the Malphite as well. Like the odds of you not hitting Malphite are pretty low. You probably hit the Leona as well most of the time with like the same odds as hitting the Malphite.
Yeah, that's
right?
why I also wanted, because it would have been like at least like a 1-star Lucian, 2-star Fiora.
Yeah, so your board would have been 1-star Lucian, 2-star, or 2-star Lucian, 2-star Leona, 1-star Fiora.
Yeah.
But then you would have that. You would not have the Malphite and hitting the Blitz, especially with the TFT you managed to pick up. So you're level 5 became so fucking strong that you just can't lose.
Yeah.
Because you have the 2 Brawler, you have Blaster with the best 2 or early game Blasters, both at 2-star, and you get Chrono in with Blitzcrank. Most of the time you actually hit with the Reroll Galaxy. I think you're pretty favored to hit Blitzcrank 1 by the time you hit 2-5. You're going to be low on gold this Galaxy, so it's really important that you keep the streak, because that Lucian 2 eats up so much of your early gold, because you're not going to hit the early interest.
Yeah. Yeah, like everybody's so fucking broke on this Galaxy all the time.
Yes. So, like, if you're strong like this, you just don't get a bad placement ever, because this is a free top 2 game. Like, having the start is just a free top 2. So you were discussing wanting the sword like off the Lucian just to keep him all the way.
Yeah, like
until you
in
hit
case,
Aurelia, right?
In case we get in case we if we
early
go
Aurelia.
Cybers, basically, then I prefer to have Lucian 2, obviously. But
That's fair. I don't think you ever play Cybers here though. Like, you have Blitz 2, Lucian 2, Graves 2, Malphite 2. It's always probably Blaster or Rebel. It's always one of the 2
okay.
every time. Like, going into Cybers from this, you're actually just giving yourself more or better odds at bottom 2ing. Like, You should never try to play Cybers from the spot.
Is that mostly just because like of how Cybers plays in the current meta, or because of this situation specifically?
Like, it's also how they play in the current meta, but it's like the situation is so good for Brawler, Blaster, or Rebels here that you shouldn't play anything else, because those comps are, first of all, I think they're better than Cybers, just in power level. They peak higher, and they're just better. You have better items for them, you have better units for them. It doesn't make sense to go into Cybers here. The only way you play Cybers is if you play 3 Cyber through stage 3, right?
Yeah,
that's the only time you play Cybers this game. But since you're tanky enough and you have enough damage, you don't need the Cybers here. You're better off playing strong units. When you hit this Jinx, it's just 100% always Brawler, Blaster, or Rebels every time this game.
okay.
Like, there's no argument for Cybers ever. Unless you hit triple Aurelia on 5, like on 3-1. Otherwise, you don't even bother. Because even if you get crit items and like Last Whisper, they just go great on Jinx.
Okay.
So, just like I am a little bit too big of a fan of Rebels, you're probably a bit too big of a fan of Cybers.
Yeah, because also like another thing is that there's in almost every single lobby, there's always like one Brawler Blaster player. Like when I scout during the mid game, there's like almost always like 2 people with red buff.
Yep.
So like I don't really like want to try to go Brawler Blaster unless I have like.
If you feel like it's super contested, maybe don't go for it. But when you're streaking like this and you hit the early Jinx, you're always gonna be higher level with probably more gold.
Yeah, I will have
in
like
a better spot to roll for it and hit
in
it.
terms of fighting the Jinxes first.
Like you already hit your comp, like you're already done. Yeah. All you need to go is go 9 from this spot. Like you're chilling.
Yeah. Here, like, why GA over Deathblade or just the sword on?
Because you would need to use the vest, and the sword has multiple uses, whereas vest only has 2 in Rebel Brawler Blaster, apart from Rebel Spat. So, and hitting the third sword is more unlikely, I feel like. So I just want to make this item now.
Yeah, I think like mathematically it is less likely because we got like both the swords dropped. I don't think we picked them up
because you started vest.
Yeah, and then we got like
you got 2 sword drops and you got 1 natural vest. So hitting either of them is going to be unlikely. So you should just make the best in slot items for both those components, and then work your way from there.
Yeah.
But I think like the game is really straightforward. Again, you're not going 7 here, was right, because you don't really get much stronger. You should have, on the other hand, played 2 Cybers probably over the 2 Blasters. If you had a Giant Slayer, you probably want to play 4 Blaster, or if you had like a Deathblade, or if you had Last Whisper. But since you don't, I think the 2 Cyber buff on Lucian might be better than the extra hit. I'm not sure. Also, because you also get Chrono, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I feel like this is better when you got the Vi. So you can't cut the Malphite here and just play Ezreal instead, but that gets kind of awkward. Not playing a Malphite 2 at this stage of the game because he's going to tank for a long time. And that Kayle is pretty good. Hard to beat that matchup. Sucks. That's fine. Yeah, I myself would never just pick up the Cybers here ever.
Okay.
I would just leave them be. You could like just play the Aurelia here over Fiora, and it's like the only thing.
But would you go? Say for example, we didn't find the Jinx. Would you like? And we found like the Aurelias there.
I would leave. I would leave a possibility if you get like a lot of Aurelias during stage 3 naturally. Then I think it's fine to like try to pivot. But I would not have it in mind early, and I would not itemize for potential Cybers. I would just leave it as okay, maybe I don't hit Jinx, I natural double Aurelia or something before I see a single Jinx or anything else. Then I think it's fine to potentially pivot into Cybers. But like here, you can make so much money by selling the Cybers earlier and not keep it open. You would be back at 40, 50 here already.
Okay.
You would have a lot more gold to potentially hit your units. Luckily, you managed to natural the Jinx too. Somewhere along the lines.
Yeah, I think I got two Jinxes on one turn and then another Jinx on the next one. So.
Yep, something like that. And when that happens, it's just a free. Free game. And from this point on, it's not much that you can do. Like, let me just skip to this stage. I think it's like keep playing the Brawl Blaster here because it's better than random one-star Rebels.
Yeah, especially with Giant Slayer.
Yep. what I would do from Kane after we leveled is here I would have pivoted into Rebels already. But the reason I told you not to do it, or didn't tell you at all, is because I think you would probably, like, for the first transition turn, you would probably mess up some positioning, or you would not do fast enough, maybe leave a unit somewhere, not put the items where they have to be. Like, it's if you're not used to playing it, especially, you're
haven't
probably
played,
gonna tank some HP.
yeah, probably
during the
like
transition.
play like Rebels like once every 10 or 15 games. It's not too often.
And yeah, I don't want to put the pressure, because I've done in the past just assume that people get the pivot in 10 seconds, which is something not a lot of people do, because not many people actually play the late pivot rebel, or they do, but very slowly in most cases, if at all.
Because if I have turns where I need to roll down and transition on at the same time, I usually don't have time to do that. I'm not that fast at rolling.
Yeah, I didn't want to put that pressure on you, so but yeah, I would have made the pivot a few rounds ago, or 1 round ago, to 2-6 rebels, or at least cut down 2 brawlers here, or 2 blaster, to get more power onto the Jinx. But this is still fine because you're still strong here, right? You're not gonna, like, you're healthy enough to just do it slowly.
It would be different if
most
we started
games
losing a couple of rounds.
Yeah, if you started losing, you would have had to do the pivot a lot quicker, and you would have rolled to 0 like 2 rounds ago. Yeah, you're strong enough, and the lobby is weak enough that you could just take it super slow, and you're just in a good spot here.
Yeah, like the only guy that like had potential was the one that like almost hit KL 3. But besides, like, everybody felt so weak.
Yeah, the guy who had Sigs 3 with perfect items and good items on Jinx, he would have been a big ass threat and potentially would have beat you if it did not put the GA on Jinx and instead greeted it for Gangplank, because he ended up having a GP with Thieves Gloves instead of GA, and that GP never casted against you. Because when you're playing against Brawler Blaster as Rebel, the reason why you beat them is because GP nukes so quickly that Jinx pops way quicker before the opposite Jinx, or the opponent's Jinx, and you just kill them before they have a chance to react. It's just way more explosive. But if GP doesn't have GA, he doesn't cast, and then you a lot of time lose, especially when you have MF2. The MF2 difference was the big thing, or big reason why you had such an easy time this game, at least the late game. You had perfect items on your Jinx as well, or close to it, so you're in a super good spot. Yeah, this guy has some weird ass GP items as well. Did he cast though? Did you end up winning this one? I think you did. The MF smurfed a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Shogath ulti was pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Deathblade feels weird in Jinx. It's good for sure, but like if you look at your items, you don't have much damage in terms of items. You have like good blaster scaling items, so she procs quickly, and that's all you need. You just want her to proc, because then she's gonna pop off. Because this one's like stuck, right? It's not ulting, and then you're not gonna win. You need Jinx to pop off.
Like on the GP, you generally just want GA, and then Spark is good, I guess, because you have GA.
Yeah, GA, then Spark, and Death Cap is the best item combo.
There's no reason for like the Morello or Spell Crit.
No, because you already have red buff almost every time on Jinx, right? Or MF in some cases. And like you can add an extra Morello, but you don't really need it.
Like GP is mostly there for the
CC and burst.
The demo stun. That's like
the demo stun is insanely important. Also, he does a fuck ton of damage and helps Jinx pop quickly, and lets units get into range of Valkyrie from MF if you're playing Kayle instead of Lulu. But this game you got Lulu 2, and you got, I think Lulu 2 is most of the time better than Valkyrie, even if you don't have Celestial, just because Lulu 2 is such a good unit. Depends on if the opponents have a lot of QSSs on their carries. Then it gets worse, obviously, but it's still really good. But yeah.
Hope you enjoyed and got something out of that long coaching session, and let me know if you want to see more stuff like this. Fluffy's Twitch and Twitter is linked in the description, so go follow him and catch his streams. Some of you have asked me for coaching, and I have coached 2 people so far. If you want coaching as well, contact me on Discord at maskoff #8483. Price starts at $10 an hour. Might have to raise it a bit if a ton of people contact me. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.